Radio 94.7 FM, 12:30 AM, and streaming at lbfoxsports.com. We're celebrating 25 years of covering Lehigh Valley teams. Moments like Central Catholic Boys Lacrosse winning its state championship in 2021. Covering the biggest moments of Lehigh Valley sports for 25 years. This is Fox Sports Radio 94.7 FM and 12:30 AM in Easton.
You're listening to IronPigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio 94.7 FM, 12:30 AM, and streaming at lbfoxsports.com.
Wrapping up the Lehigh Valley IronPigs pregame show, Sam Jelinek here with you from the Science Sky broadcast booth here in Coca-Cola Park. IronPigs and RailRiders second game in less than 12 hours as Scranton took the series opener last night. First time these two teams have met this season. First of what will be 24 games for the Iron Rail this year as the Pigs look to retain it. Their title defense not off to a great start. 15-4 loss last night for the Pigs. Gave up a season-high 15 runs on a season-high 18 hits on what ended up being a season-high margin of defeat, getting beaten by 11. So they will try to bounce back very quickly here. Hopefully the RailRiders bit of a hangover from last night as the Pigs coming in at 20-26, season-high 6 games under 500, while the RailRiders at 24-20, 3 games back here in the IL first-half standings. IronPigs are 8 games back of Memphis, who is currently in the top spot here in the International League. To get the starting lineups brought to you by PSECU. PSECU remembers Chief Moore. Starting pitching matchup today will be Tucker Davidson against Adam Klopfenstein for Scranton. Starting lineup for the RailRiders will be George Lombard Jr. to lead things off. He's going to be the shortstop. Yannikel Fernandez, the right fielder, hits second. Marco Luciano in the 3 spot is going to play second base. Hitting fourth, Oswaldo Cabrera is in left field. Seth Brown, the first baseman, bats fifth. Then Ali Sanchez, the DH. Peyton Henry will catch at 7th. Jonathan Ornelas, the third baseman, bats 8th. And Kennedy Corona in center field bats 9th, with Klopfenstein starting. Quickly for the Pigs, as they've just taken the field, it'll be Cairo, Baroa, and Reyes, the top 3. Then Keyboom, De La Cruz, and Carlson, with Figueroa, Ricketts, and Moore rounding it out, with Tucker Davidson trying to start here at home for the IronPigs. And with them taking the field, that means it's time for a national anthem brought to you by Allied Personnel Services. Ready to step up to the plate with your job search and a home run. The best jobs, best companies, and best pay in the Valley when you team up with Allied Personnel Services, the Lehigh Valley's hiring experts for over 40 years. Visit AlliedPS.com today to see all of the great jobs available. We'll take one final break and come back with first pitch. IronPigs Baseball is next here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Burgess swings it to high, caught deep center. Back to the track. Hey, Burgess! He wins it! It's delicious!
Big Baseball is brought to you by Air Products, Strong, Capital Blue Cross, coca-cola, Science Sky Coffee.
National swings it! It's done!
Eastern Lip Truck Company, Good Shepherd Rehabilitation, Milton Garden Inn, and Staybridge Streets.
Corona swings it last deep right center. He's launching. It's gone. Diller for Gilbert Boneheads.
Near the pack, Lehigh Valley Health Net, Insurance, Rich Mark Loans.
Singers swings here towards
Riverview Country Club, Insurance, Twins Electric, Techniques Hunter, 69 minutes.
The 3-2 pitch. Anthony swings his line.
Let's go live to the Science Sky broadcast booth with the voice of the IronPigs, Sam Jelinek.
On a beautiful Wednesday night here at Allentown, Pennsylvania, we are at Coca-Cola Park, where it is time for Lehigh Valley IronPigs baseball. Hi, everybody. Sam Jonick with you on a sun-splashed Wednesday morning. IronPigs playing their second education game of the season. Send Tucker Davidson to the mound to try to snap this 4-game losing streak as the Pigs, now 6 games under 500, dropped the opener last night. Scranton Wilkes-Barre 15-4. RailRiders playing some good baseball of late, now at 24-20. Pigs will try to even the series up at a game apiece here this morning. So Davidson gets the ball for the Pigs as he has been fantastic here at home. He has thrown 12 consecutive scoreless innings here at Coca-Cola Park. The lefty, 6'2", 215 pounds, is 2-1 on the season with a .564 ERA. He gets the ball, and this is how the defense will take shape behind him. In left field, Stuart Baroa. Dylan Carlson is in center field. Brian De La Cruz in right. Robert Moore is over at third base. Christian Cairo plays shortstop. Leover Peguero at second base with Felix Reyes at first, and Caleb Ricketts does the catching. Davidson, 30 years old, of Amarillo, Texas, signed as a minor league free agent this offseason by the Phillies. Works with a four-seam fastball, slider, sinker, splitter, sweeper, and curveball. He will really use all of those pitches, so it is an expansive arsenal that keeps hitters guessing. Nearly the same lineup today as it was yesterday for Scranton. A couple changes in the bottom third, but the top six remain the same. Here's Davidson from the stretch. First pitch of the game. It's a fastball, just a little high to George Lombard Jr., and we're underway. 2 minutes late, 11:02. First pitch. It's 86 degrees here at first pitch. 1-0 pitch. Lombard swings a one-hop smash over to third, down to a knee. Moore able to pick it on the back end. High throw to first. Reyes up off the back, and Lombard is saved. Reyes came back down, tried to slap the tag on Lombard going by. But the throw just too high, and Reyes, even with gravity bringing him back down, unable to get down in time, get the tag on him. Moore was able to set his feet, and the throw just a little high on him, and yeah, the tag got on Lombard on his head as he hit first base. So it's an E5 on Moore to start the game, and that is now the fourth error already committed by the IronPigs in this series. First pitch to Yanquiel Fernandez, sinker down and in on him. Fernandez with a whale of a start to the series, had 3 hits last night, 2 homers, and drove in 6. Lombard at first. Had stolen base last night. He's running or stopping here as the pitch misses outside Fernandez. Ball 2, he bluffed and ended up back to the base. So Fernandez now hitting .258, 11 homers, and 31 RBIs. Right fielder, square stance from the left side of the plate. Davidson delivers, Lombard runs in, Fernandez a line shot into the People First Plaza down the right field side. Foul ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Davidson working at a pretty expeditious pace here early. Even with the high temperature to begin, he's wearing long navy blue sleeves under his jersey. So definitely working up a bit of a lather. Lombard leads at first. Reyes holding him on. Davidson to the plate. Fernandez pops it up. On the infield, up the first base side. Reyes calling for it. He shoes off Leover Peguero and makes the catch. First out of the game recorded. Brings up Marco Luciano. IronPigs wearing their typical Saturday jerseys here on Wednesday morning, opting instead of the home white as they wore the coquille yesterday. Pennsylvania Dutch here on Wednesday with Scranton swapping to their true road grays. Luciano open stance from the right side, throw over to first, and Lombard back to the bag standing. Lombard 4 for 5, stealing bases in 17 games played for the RailRiders. Davidson third base side, another throw over, and Lombard back to the base safely again here, and suddenly Davidson has put himself in a bit of a pickle. 2 disengagements on Lombard. You can kind of figure the rest of this at-bat, he's going to be angling to run. Still no count on Luciano. The pitch. Davidson misses high and away. Fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Scranton was very aggressive on the base paths last night. They ended up with 6 stolen bases. IronPigs on the season have allowed the most stolen bases in the International League. 1-0 sweeper. It's down low on Luciano. Ball 2. But with that has come, they have also thrown out the most runners in IL, hovering around a 20% caught stealing rate, which honestly is pretty average, not a rate that you would expect a lot of teams to really try to run on too much. 2-0, Luciano swings and fouls it off at the plate. But teams still have been aggressive against the Pigs. Davidson, one of the guys who has done a better job at holding runners as a lefty, has a couple of pickoffs this year. 2-1 on Luciano, hitting .270, 1 homer. He's driven in 4-2-1. Runner goes, pitches outside. Throw to second by Ricketts is in time. Throw right on the bag, and Lombard, even with a headlong dive, couldn't swim around it. He's thrown out, caught stealing. Caleb Ricketts hoses him. Good throw to Liover Peguero, and just like that, there's 2 outs here in the top of the first. Ricketts has been better throwing of late, had a couple of caught stealings last week against Rochester. That is now his 13th runner thrown out this year. He's above 25%. 3-1 pitch to Luciano, misses up high. And Davidson, with a walk, extends the first for Oswaldo Cabrera. Error, base hit, or error, pop-up, and walk. Here to begin first for Scranton. 2 outs, a man at first, and Oswaldo Cabrera gets his first at-bat here of the day, first debut of the week as a right-handed hitter for the switch hitter. First pitch, he swings, it's a hard ground ball back of third, sliding stop on the backhand. Moore sets the feet, strong throw across, and he gets Cabrera. Robert Moore busy at the hot corner here to begin the morning, makes the play on Cabrera to end the first, and Tucker Davidson's scoreless streak here at home goes to 13 innings. We go to the bottom of the first, the RailRiders nothing, and the IronPigs coming to bat. Here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Right now, this is the Dan Patrick Show. The American Football Coaches Association expected to release its decision on the 2014. Now, this is just like March Madness. We didn't ask who we're going to get. I don't want 2014 players. We just got to 12. You want to do 14 or 16? Okay. Now we're going to 24. In last year's final AP Top 25, Iowa was ranked 17th with 4 losses. USC and Michigan, they were ranked 20th and 21st with 4 losses. So we're going to have teams with 4 losses. And of course the coaches are going to be in favor of this. Well, I made the playoffs. Well, you keep your job there, Jimmy. The Dan Patrick Show. Dan, Dennis, and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
You're listening to IronPigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM, 12:30 a.m., and streaming at lvfoxsports.com.
Bottom of the first, it's the RailRiders nothing, and the IronPigs coming to bat against Adam Klopfenstein on the mound for Scranton. Klopfenstein, somebody the Pigs have seen the past couple of years. He was with Buffalo last year. Pigs saw him. He gets the ball for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Defensively behind him, it'll be Oswaldo Cabrera in left, Kennedy Corona center field, Yanquiel Fernandez in right. Jonathan Ornelas at third base, George Lombard Jr. plays shortstop, Marco Luciano at second base, Seth Brown at first, and Peyton Henry, old friends, doing the catching. Christian Cairo leads it off for the Pigs here in the bottom of the first. Got the series opener off, plays here on Wednesday morning. Klopfenstein the righty, winds and fires. Fastball sinker, is high and in on Cairo, 1 ball and no strikes. Klopfenstein 1-1 with a 4.55 ERA. 1-0 pitch. That one is in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Klopfenstein, 6'5", 245-pound righty. He has a sinker, a sweeper, and a curveball. Although he'll basically only be sinker and sweeper. 1-1. Cairo hits it in the air, right center field, moderately deep, sending Fernandez and Corona back towards the warning track in the alley, and it's caught by Fernandez as Corona came streaking across him. The center fielder ends up dropping his glove and hobbling towards the warning track and the wall. And he's a little still a bit limping back as Fernandez hands him his glove. Now, Corona, even though he was the center fielder, had to make sure that he got around Fernandez because Yanquiel has about 5 inches and probably a good 40 pounds on him. And the best way I can describe is it kind of looked like Corona ended up stubbing his toe, kind of a bit of turf toe with it, to try to get out of the way of it. His foot gets stepped on, yeah. I think Fernandez stepped right on his foot. So they're taking a look at his right foot here, trying to figure out, if he can stay in this game. We saw it yesterday when Duke Ellis was the center fielder, some almost miscommunication between Ellis and Fernandez. This time it's Corona and Fernandez. And we'll see if Corona will stay in the game. He's bouncing on the balls of his feet, trying to decipher if he can stay in this one. Well, he's convinced the RailRiders trainer and Shelly Duncan that he's okay. So he'll stay in the game here. The catch was made by Fernandez and right. So Cairo's retired for the first out of the inning. And Corona feeling just well enough to stay in the game here. And Shelly Duncan getting an early morning jog all the way out to right center field to get the blood pumping a little bit. So 1 out and the base is empty with Stuart Baroa coming up. Kloffenstein will throw a couple of warm-up tosses. Kloffenstein's last time out came on May the 14th against Syracuse. He went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. His first pitch to Stuart Baroa is a fastball, just a little bit low. Baroa batting second today, had an RBI single last night, hitting .269 with 4 homers, 19 driven home, 1-0 breaking ball. This is outside to Baroa. Quickly, 2 balls, no strikes. Outfield straight away on Stewart. Infield straight up. Kloffenstein first base side, winds and delivers. Sinker down the dirt, bounces off a Peyton Henry to the backstop. 3-0 on Baroa. On the season, Kloffenstein 1-1, 4.55 ERA. 27 2/3 innings. He's walked 12, struck out 27, given up 23 hits. 3-0 pitch. Baroa takes just below the knees, and it's a 4-pitch walk, the first base runner of the day for the IronPigs. Pigs will take that. 1 out base runner, that's Baroa at first. Brings up Felix Reyes. Even though Kloffenstein has faced the Pigs a good bit, especially coming off the Blue Jay system and then being back with Toronto last year, only De La Cruz, Kibu, McIntosh, Moore, and Figueroa have actually seen him combining for just a smattering of at-bats. 16 at-bats in total. First pitch to Felix Reyes. Fastball right down the middle. 0-1. Reyes playing first base. DH last night. His return to the team. Hitting .321. He's got 6 homers and driven in 16. Baroa leading at first. Kloffenstein set just letters. Peeks over his shoulder. Short leg kick. Pitch home is a sinker down below the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carter Kieboom on deck. Outfield straight away on Felix. Infield straight up. Baroa held on by Brown at first. Kloffenstein will check on the runner. A throw over and it gets by Brown. It was low. It skipped by him. Goes to the sidewalk. Aram's back will pick it up. Baroa, though, gets up and goes to second. There'll be an error on Adam Kloffenstein, allowing Baroa to reach second base. So both teams with errors, throwing errors here in the first. And in scoring position for Felix Reyes. 1-1. Reyes swings, ground ball over to third, takes a high hop on Ornelas, but he sticks with it, fires across the diamond a little high, but Brown brings it down. Baroa moves over to third base, and that's the second out here in the first. Bit of a tricky hop for Ornelas to deal with as he was low on that. It was actually a bit of a room service hop coming up to him, but he had to make sure that kept the hands in line with it. It's a good job reacting with it. So 2 outs, man at third for Carter Keyboom. Keyboom DHing today, had 2 hits last night's game, a single and double. First pitch, sinker inside on him, brushes him off the plate. Keyboom, the team's active leading hitter, 317. Felix Reyes, although back, not qualified for the batting title. 1-0. Klovenstein almost paints the edge, but just a little bit outside the lines. This is down and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Klovenstein here in the first, now 12 pitches. Only 5 of them have actually been strikes. 2-0 pitch. Heater just down and away again. And just like the plate appearance for Baroa, he's not missing by much to Keyboom, but he's not had either of them chase out of the strike zone. He had Baroa walk on 4 pitches, and now Keyboom with a 3-0 count. I wouldn't completely hate a green light for him here. 3-0 pitch. Keyboom takes, that just knifes the outside corner. 3-1, no score, bottom 1. Baroa at third base. Keyboom has got 11 RBIs in the year. OPS just above 800. 3-1 pitch. Keyboom lays off. Fastball is high. Second walk of the inning. Keyboom will take first with Baroa at third base, and Brian De La Cruz now coming to play. De La Cruz hitting .226. He's got 5 homers, 25 RBIs as he plays against his former team. He's with Scranton Wilkes-Barre for the majority of last year. Outfield straight away on him, deep. Infield is straight on. And before the first pitch, time is called by home plate umpire Raul Moreno, who issues a pitch clock violation on Klovenstein. So a free ball awarded onto the count. De La Cruz jumps ahead. 1 ball, no strikes. Keyboom at first, 1-0 coming. Sweeper just misses off the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes, and Klovenstein continuing to have trouble finding the strike zone here in the first. 4-pitch walk to Baroa, 5-pitch walk to Keyboom. Down 2-0 on De La Cruz. The pitch, fastball at the knees. It's right down the middle. Called strike. 2-1. Pigs trying to get on the board first with the back-to-back shutouts over the weekend. They have not held a lead in a game since last Friday night. 2-1. De La Cruz out in front. Whiffs. Sweeper moving away from him. 2-2. The last time they led was when they were on top of Rochester. 2-1 going into the bottom of the 7th last Friday night. 5 days ago. 2-2 on De La Cruz. Runners at the corners. 2 outs. 2-2 is ripped on a line deep left. Cabrera, though, already playing deep in front of the warning track. A couple steps to his right, able to make the catch. De La Cruz retired, and the inning over. Pigs threatened with a pair of walks, but Klovenstein leaves a pair aboard. We go to the second, scoreless after 1. Here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Hi, IronPigs fans. I'm Linda Doherty, work in Human Resources and Air Products. I live in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and I'm proud to support MDA.
Air products, working here, living here, given. Hi, IronPigs fans. I'm Nick Minica. I work in hydrogen energy systems and air products. I live in Zionsville, and I'm proud to support community cycling. Air products, working here, living here, giving here.
Chick-fil-A White is a proud of the Lehigh Valley IronPigs. Now, no one way to Chick-fil-A with the Chick-fil-A One app. Earn points towards every qualifying purchase and save time on ordering and pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Even place catering orders for your large events through the internet. The app and Chick-fil-A Whitehall. It's always our pleasure to serve you.
Hi there. I'm Sock, your friendly copier helper guy. There you go. You're all set.
Whoa, Cy, that was awesome.
Thanks. Better service is on the horizon. Science Guy up here. Science Guy service. Ready to get it out of the farm. You can help do it. office copy with the printers, call Cyan Sky today. Or find them at cyanskycopiers.com. You're listening to the IronPigs Radio Network.
Top of the second, scoreless after an inning of play here between the IronPigs and the RailRiders. Tucker Davidson back to work has now thrown 13 consecutive scoreless innings here at Coca-Cola Park. First pitch fastball to Seth Brown. It's a little low on him. 1 ball, no strikes. Tucker back-to-back starts here at Coca-Cola Park that had been 6 shutout innings. 1-0 pitch. Brown takes. It's a fastball at the knees. 1-1. Last time out was on the May the 8th against Buffalo. So this pitch is actually going to be challenged by Seth Brown, and upon review, call on the field is confirmed, and the RailRiders have yet to win a challenge this week. Lost both of theirs yesterday, going 0-2, and now Brown 0-1 here to begin today's game. Davidson 6 scoreless on May the 8th, 6 scoreless on April the 26th. Past 2 starts here at home. Third base side stretches and deals. 1-1, bounced softly up the first base side. That's a foul ball. Broke his bat, so back to the bat rack goes Brown with a new piece of lumber here. The last time Davidson allowed a run here at home was April the 12th against Rochester, when he gave up 6 runs in 2 1/3 innings. This is now his 5th appearance here at home, and 4 of them previously, or rather 3 of them previously, have been scoreless. 2 1/3 scoreless on March 29th out of the bullpen, and the 2 scoreless starts on the 26th and the 8th. One and 2 on Seth Brown, homered for the 7th time season last night, going back-to-back. Hitting .240. Driven in 15 runs, left-handed hitter. Davidson, the southpaw, delivers home. Sweeper is down and away to him. Lays off. Davidson, we mentioned the long sleeves even here on the hot day. He also goes the high socks on top of it. High navy blue socks with rings of white encapsulated with red in the middle. 2-2 pitch. There's a sweeper way high. It's an easy take for Brown. And the count now full here to begin the second. Davidson allowed a walk and an error in the first. Got caught stealing, though, to help limit the damage. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased a high fastball. Brown going way up out of the zone. And after breaking a bat earlier in the at-bat, looks like he was about to snap his new one in half himself, but he refrained, frustrated at chasing that one way out of the strike zone, and Davidson has his first strikeout of the game here. 22 strikeouts on the season for Tucker. He's not exactly a punch-out arm. His stuff will hover fastball-wise in the low 90s, 90 to 94. This is with a slider. First pitch to Ali Sanchez. Down low. 1 ball, no strikes. Sanchez from the right side of the plate, hitting .253. He's got 5 homers and driven in 10 runs. 1-0. Davidson, another slider. 86. Might honestly be the cutter there. Hard slider at that. Ball 2. Outfield straight away, infield straight up. 2-0 pitch. And it's hit hard towards short and by Kyra up the middle towards left center for a base hit. Sanchez a turnaround first, but Carlson plays it back in. Hold him there. First of the day for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And there's a man at first. 1 out for old friends and an Iron Pig just last season, Peyton Henry. Peyton signed a minor league free agent deal with the Yankees this past offseason after being with the Iron Pigs and the Phillies last year. He's off to a good start this season, hitting .265 with an .823 OPS. Right-handed hitter, takes the first pitch down below the knees. Fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Peyton, just his age 28 into 29 season. He'll turn 29 in a month. Originally drafted by the Brewers, bounced around a little bit after that. 1-0. Davidson, this is outside of the sweeper. Ball 2, he's got 4 homers this year and driven in 12. 66 combined games for him last year, a couple with high A jersey short of rehab, but the bulk of that coming as one of the Iron Pigs' primary backstops. 2-0, swings for a fastball. 2-1. He had good numbers. The Pigs hit 11 homers, drove in 47, had a couple of walk-offs. One of those being a walk-off bunt, no less. 2 balls, 1 strike. Middle infield at double play depth. Pitch home. Davidson down and away with a sinker. Henry lays off, and the count 3-1 on him. Davidson trying to be more efficient here today. It took him 71 pitches to get through 3 innings last week in Rochester. Third base side of the mound, kicks the leg, pitch home, fastball, can't get the call, it's down and in. Ball 4, second walk issued by Davidson. Henry aboard at first, Sanchez gets pushed to second. 2 on, 1 out for Jonathan Ornelas, coming off of a 4-hit night last evening. Playing good ball of late as Phil Kandari, sensing something from Davidson, is going to make a trip to the mound and have a very early conversation with him. Christian Cairo comes in from shortstop as well to grab the rosin bag. Phil puts an arm on the shoulder of Davidson, eye to eye, delivers the message succinctly, pointedly, and we'll try to see if he can get Davidson back in a groove here. Pigs need some length from Davidson. The bullpen, they did get to use 2 major league rehabbers yesterday with Max Lazar and Zach Pop, but even discounting them, they ended up having to use 4 arms in total. You know, whether or not you count Cusick as a bullpen arm, they still had to open with Stout, Harper, Holman, and McMillan all throwing, although McMillan probably available, only threw 5 pitches last night. 2 on and 1 out for Jonathan Ornelas. Davidson, after the meeting, comes right after Ornelas with a slider. It's at the knees, called strike, 0-1. Ornelas with 4 hits last night, now hitting .343 with Scranton. 34th game here today. He's got 3 homers, driven in 15. 0-1 off the end of the bat. Cues it right towards the stairwell, the RailRiders dugout. 0-2. So good job by Tucker coming out of that conversation with Kandari. Going right after Ornelas. First and second, 1 out. First scoring opportunity of the day for Scranton. Look back at second from Davidson, 0-2. And Ornelas a weak tapper up the first base side off the mound. Davidson bare hands in and flips it over to first to retire Ornelas. He broke his bat, albeit barely, as right off the cup end of the bat ended up just splintering it a little bit, with the shard end going towards the third base coach for Scranton, Gil Velasquez. Retrieved that for the bat boy. Ornelas retired at first. Sanchez to third, Henry to second, and with 2 outs, we'll be up to Kennedy Corona, who, after the scare with Yanquiel Fernandez in the bottom of the first, does stay in the game here. Second and third, 2 gone. Corona, right-handed hitter. First pitch, down the dirt, smothered by Ricketts. Able to keep the runners put. Corona hitting just .160 with Scranton. He's got 1 homer. Driven in 5 runs, playing his 10th game of the season. Started this year with Double-A Somerset. Promoted to the RailRiders beginning of the month. 1-0 home, good hack, fouls the slider back. 1-1. Strand threatening here in the top of the second. Davidson, 31 pitches into his outing. Has men at second and third. Third base side of the mound. Davidson set, kicks the leg high, delivers home, and Corona swings and misses, chases the splitter. Down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Outfield a couple steps the other way for Corona, not too deep. Infield straight up and back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Davidson to the plate. Swing and a miss. Same splitter. Got him chasing down and away. Davidson punches it out. And he strands 2 in scoring position here to end the second. Go to the bottom of the second. Still no score here on the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Shop unbeatable deals on the hottest styles during Ashley's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 20% store-wide or take advantage of 60 months no-interest financing, no minimum purchase. Plus, explore door-busting savings, whether you're refreshing one space or your entire home. Now is the time to save big with these incredible holiday savings. Save up to 20% or enjoy
Freak live.
These Memorial Day deals won't last long.
Inning by inning.
Don't miss out. Happening now at Ashley.
Check out
It's like last week with the trend.
It's fun to follow.
It is. It is.
That's amazing. My tool says that one hand.
IBM service. When toilet and me takes its toll. When it's time to upgrade your toilet from a common preference, well, neither is thrown. One man will be by your side, ready for justice, and a body of men can be brought.
Please, my tool.
All right, Ken. So, one of the experts at HL Open. Just play up your life. I take that. Visit HLBowman.com. Just furniture store brand in North America. Fox Sports Radio 90.7 FM, 12:30 a.m. And streaming at LVFoxSports.com.
Bottom of the second, still a scoreless game as Tucker Davidson now out to 14 consecutive scoreless innings here at home. Keeps the RailRiders off the board in the top half, stranding runners at second and third. It'll be 6, 7, 8 for the Pigs here in the second after they left a pair on base in the first. Dylan Carlson leading it off. Switch hitter Ben from left hit his first homer as an Iron Pig last night, snapping the 25 straight scoreless inning streak for the Iron Pigs. Kloffenstein into his line, first pitch, say fastball on the inside corner to Dylan Carlson, 0-1. Carlson and Kloffenstein, once upon a time in the same organization, both part of the Cardinals organization. I don't think they played together. Let's go back and check. 0-1. Sweeper down and in on Carlson, batting left-handed against the righty Kloffenstein. 1-1. Kloffenstein, who was picked up, drafted by the Blue Jays, ended up getting traded to the Cardinals deadline a couple years back. First base side of the mound, infield swings around to the right side for the left-handed hitter. 1-1. Changeup on the inside corner. 1-2. Hitter Carlson's now going to challenge this. Things that might have missed down, and it did. Good challenge by Carlson. So now take a 1-1 count and turn it to ball 2 instead, as that pitch just an inch below the knees. Pigs have been much better at challenging of late. Pitch home. It's down and in. 3 balls and strikes, I should have said. Instead of 1-2, made it 2-1, and now ball 3 from Kloffenstein. Some control issues for him in the first. He walked 2 hitters, and now at 23 pitches has thrown just 9, or rather 10 strikes. 2-1 or 3-1, lifted in the air. Left center field, not too deep. Cabrera started back, now has to fade back in. He's able to make the catch. Carlson the first out here in the second. 1 out, the base is empty for the over, Piquero. The over hitting 254. No homers. He's driven in 21 runs this season. Education Day here on Wednesday, May the 20th. One of the few times we don't play the Ed Day games on a Tuesday. First pitch fastball to Piquero. It's on the outside corner. You might be wondering, why is this the only time we're doing the Ed Day on a Wednesday as opposed to a Tuesday? 0-1, Piquero with sweeper. Way outside, he chased it. 0-2, the reason is the travel logistics of getting Scranton here. It's a weird scenario with them actually being so close is that, they do have their hotel, but for both us and them, 0-2. Swing and a miss. Same sweeper. Piquero chases it, and Kloffenstein dispatches him on 3 pitches for the second out here. The second, his first strikeout of the game. And if Scranton were to stay, or rather have to play Tuesday morning, they would have had to be in the hotel Monday night. You're not going to drive up 6 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So logistically, it works better to have this game on Wednesday, because also then on Sunday night, we are playing a Sunday night game for Memorial Day. First pitch to Caleb Ricketts. Fastball's now low on him. 1 ball, no strikes. I don't know if Scranton will be leaving after that game or staying the night. I would imagine they're going home right after it. Might just be easier for them. 1-0 pitch. Ricketts takes fastball on the outer corner, 1-1. Might depend on where they're going next. If they're not going home, if they're going on the road somewhere far, they might just say, "Well, hit the road on 1-1." Ricketts, a bouncing ball, back of first, step to his right, Brown there to glove it, flip underhand, Klopfenstein covering, retires Ricketts, and the inning over. Pigs down in order here in seconds. We go to the third. No score here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
That to-do list you have means one effect. Chills. Take the afternoon off. Binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Whatever you do with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
So much to love on this ride.
Score update presented by Ashley. Boys and Girls playing each other later this afternoon at the top of Clyde. Internationally, though, Pigs and RailRiders scoreless after 2. Still plenty of morning and afternoon action to be played here today. Louisville and Columbus were in the 7th game from yesterday. They're tied at 3 in the top of the 8th. Toledo, Indianapolis, first of a doubleheader, scoreless in the bottom of the second there. Top 2 early scoring has Buffalo ahead of Syracuse 2-1. So to come today, plenty of games. 12:05, Jacksonville beats Norfolk at 1:08. Iowa is hosting Memphis. Night action here at 6:05. Worcester will roll along in the series against Rochester. At 6:35, Gwinnett is hosting Charlotte. 6:45, Durham will meet Nashville. And at 7:37, St. Paul will host Omaha. Back into the doubleheader will be played between Toledo and Indianapolis as well, as long as the originally scheduled game today between Louisville and Columbus. We go to the top of the third, scoreless between the Pigs and RailRiders. Back to Sam Jelnick.
Thank you, Jack. Like you said, top of 3, IronPigs and RailRiders, scoreless through the first 2. Tucker Davidson, 14 consecutive scoreless innings here at home. For whatever reason, he pitched really well here at Coca-Cola Park. He said he had actually pitched here previously with Gwinnett, and he said he actually had a good start that time. So this place has just always been comfortable for him, one reason or another. Top of the order here for the RailRiders in the third, as George Lombard Jr. will lead it off. He reached on an error his first time up and was caught stealing. Second down in the first. Right-handed hitter against the lefty Davidson. Tucker from the stretch with nobody on base. Third base side of the rubber, kicks the leg, fires home, and the fastball just under the kneecaps. 1 ball, no strikes. Education Day. It is a packed house with a lot of kids. They honestly have been, he'd say, more well-behaved, but not as rowdy. 1-0. Fastball snipes the outside corner, 1-1. Not as much of the primal shrieking as normal. Maybe just because it's the end of the school year, but I would have thought that would turn them loose a little bit. Lombard hands held low from the right side. Davidson's 1-1. Got him out in front. Foul tip into the mitt of Ricketts. 1-2. Splitter is working really well today for Davidson. I talked to Tucker after he had him on the pregame show a couple weeks back about him being a lefty who throws a splitter. It's a pretty rare phenomenon. 1-2. Lombard lifts it high in the air. Left center field pretty deep. Carlson back. Baroa as well to the track at the wall. It's off the fence. Carlson plays the carom beautifully back in towards the cutoff man. And into second goes Lombard with a stand-up double. He struck it well, but he was so far underneath that I didn't think that ball was going to carry that far, but hot, humid day, that ball just kept on going to the deepest part of the yard, no less. Lombard, 2-base hit, his second with the RailRiders. Now, Davidson, as a lefty who throws a splitter, is in a rare group. Only 2% of all lefties, at least at the major league level, throw splitters. The easy explanation that most people assume on it, first pitch to Yanquiel Fernandez, he's way out in front, lunges for it, pops it up behind home, Ricketts off with the mask, and he makes the catch. Good job by Caleb out of the squat, able to put it away, and Fernandez pops out for the second time today for the first out here in the third. But most lefties have a pretty good affinity and just natural inclination to throw a good changeup. For whatever reason, the way baseball field is oriented, the way lefties throw the baseball, throwing motion period, they pronate really well. meaning that they turn the ball over really well, which lends itself to a good changeup. Now, righties, on the other hand, for most of them, it's a little harder. First pitch to Marco Luciano, it's a sinker on the inside corner, 0-1. But Davidson, he said he always did have a changeup, but it was never a pitch that he felt very good about, or, the results were there. Looks back at second. Inside move, chases Lombard back. Luciano walked his first time up. Man at second, 1 out, no score. Top of the third, and Tucker saying, I'm just always looking for better ways to get hitters out. How can I be the best version of myself as a pitcher? And that's using a splitter versus a changeup. It's Lombard bouncing from second, now back to the bag as Davidson delivers home. Pitches down low. Slider out of the zone, 1-1. Even if that is as a lefty, going to a pitch that most guys like me don't use, I don't really care. Outs are outs, and good pitches are good pitches. Throw back to second, and Lombard gets back safely as Davidson's throw almost drilled him in the back. 2 disengagements now for Davidson, and Lombard, who seems like he's itching to try to swipe third here. Got to keep an eye on him. 1-1 on Luciano. Look back at second. Lombard stutters the feet. Pitch home. And Davidson hits the target at the knees outside corner. 1-2. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the RailRiders. No runs, no hits, and 1 error for the IronPigs. 1-2 pitch. Luciano, a bouncing ball back of third, down to a knee, more able to glove it on the forehand, set the feet, throw across the diamond, in time to get Luciano. Lombard got looked back to second base, remains there, and 2 outs. Brings up Oswaldo Cabrera, who hit a hard ground ball in the third first time up that Moore was able to make the play on. Davidson far more efficient today than he was last week in Rochester. Gave up 3 runs in 3 innings, walking 4, giving up 5 hits, so the damage honestly could have been worse. It took him 71 pitches to get through that. First pitch to Cabrera, launches a sinker all the way in, just a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. Lombard leads from second, 1-0 pitch. Tucker just a little bit high this time. Ball 2. On Oswaldo Cabrera, switch hitter batting right. Davidson to the plate, bounces it in, taking off for third as Lombard. Ricketts picks up the wild pitch, throws to third, and Lombard is safe. Moore at third tried to play it off like the throw got away from him, and then slapped the tag again on Lombard, but not having it, as 2 sons of baseball men, Dayton Moore and George Lombard, together at third base. Wild pitch puts Lombard at third. It is 3-0 on Cabrera with Seth Brown on deck. Davidson his pitch. Fastball gets the call. Outside corner. Cabrera was already walking towards first. Doesn't challenge it with Scranton only having 1 challenge left. Probably not a prime use of one. Scoreless game. Top of the third, man at third. 2 outs, 3-1. That pitch is outside. Cabrera can take the shin and elbow guard off for real this time around. Third walk of the game issued by Davidson. Men in the corners, 2 outs, and Seth Brown coming up. And I would guess Cabrera will be off and running early. Whether or not Ricketts throws through is a point of contention. I don't think he will here. I think you let Davidson try to get Brown, who he struck out his first time up. Davidson the first pitch. Swing to miss. Chasing a fastball outside. Brown a tick or 2 late on that. Cabrera 3 for 3 stealing bases this season. Didn't have one last night. Bouncing off first, Lombard at third, 0-1 pitch, and off the hands, Brown pops it up. Third base side, up the line, more into foul territory, now back into fair territory onto the infield grass. He makes the catch, and the inning over. So Davidson strands 2 more runners on base, Scoreless inning streak here at home, now out to 15, and we go bottom 3. Scoreless game here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
From the Phillipsburg Easton Honda Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio. Clinton Acura and Phillipsburg Easton Honda, 2 trusted names, 1 goal, 5-star customer service.
Find unbeatable savings on the season's hottest styles. Save up to 20%
This week's False Math is presented by Citizen. It's freshman Natalie Mahoney and Ashley Wilkes-Barre. Natalie scored 4 goals and both the school's single season scoring this year. Tune in each Friday to the Service Electric Happy Hour as we announce the next Awesome Outfit. Presented by Service Electric, the nation's first cable company and your local internet provider. Visit 610-865-9100. Go to SECTV.com. We're celebrating 25 years of covering Lehigh Valley sports. Moments like parking in the Bethlehem championship on the same day in 2015. Covering the biggest moments of Lehigh Valley sports for 25 years. This is Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM and 12:30 AM in Easton.
You're listening to IronPigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM, 12:30 AM, and streaming at lvfoxsports.com.
Bottom of the 3rd, still no score here between the IronPigs and the RailRiders. Sam Jelinek with you here from the Cyan Sky broadcast booth. 9-1-2 to up for the Pigs. Robert Moore leading it off. Robert, a couple good plays at third base here today, especially after starting the game with an error. First pitch home, Kloffenstein to him is a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Could have been very easy for him to lose some confidence quickly, playing out a position that is not his primary spot, typically a second baseman. 0-1, checks the swing, pitch is down and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Moore hitting .217. The pitch home. He hits it hard on the ground towards second on the back end. Luciano able to glove it. Almost crawled up his arm, but he sticks with it. Throws to first. Moore retired. First hard hit balls of the day for the Pigs, but nothing to show for him. One out and the base is empty for Christian Cairo. First pitch is up high. 1 ball, no strikes. Erstwhile listener Bob Frabel with the info that Scranton going back home for the Worcester series. And him also mentioning, for some reason, seeing the written in front of me that Tuesday was obviously the day yesterday that we typically would have had the day game. Pitches on the outside corner to Cairo, 1-1. It also hit me, yesterday was election day. And most schools in public places here in the Lehigh Valley get used as polling places. 1-1, this is inside ball 2. So I think the kids might have been off of school yesterday, which would have been really hard to get them out to the ballpark for a school field trip if they're not in school. Thus, why we have an Ed Day game today, probably. 2-1 pitch. Cairo looks at sinker in under the arms. Ball 3, so there's, a combination of factors. But for both teams, whenever this series comes up, there's always a handful of players, coaches who do commute during the series, going back and forth every day. 3-1, sit inside on Cairo, ball forward. Kloffenstein, third walk is issued today. Cairo, unsurprisingly, he has drawn one, considering he leads the team now with his 36th walk of the season. The commuting part of this series is honestly a really nice benefit. Just down on the turnpike, quick trip down, quick trip back. Here's Stuart Baroa, walked his first time up. Cairo a strong lead at first. Kloffenstein instead of the chest. First pitch, switch hitter batting left, takes upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Scoreless game. Bottom of the third. Ornelas in on the grass at third base. 1-0 pitch. Broa shows bunt and fouls it off at the plate. I have no way to actually check this, but it feels like Broa might have the most fouled off bunt attempts in the International League. He tries it a lot. I give him credit. Keeps defenses on their toes a good bit. The pitch home runner goes. Broa takes. It's up and away. The throw to second is in time. Bang, bang. The throw was just barely on the left field side of the bag. It looked like Lombard had to reach back for it and then apply the tag. Thought it gave Cairo a chance to beat it, but evidently not. So Cairo caught running. That is the 6th time he's been thrown out. Now 13 for 19. Stealing bases, and just like that, 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. Kloffenstein's 2-1 to Baroa. Stewart, big swing. Fouls it back. Two and two on Baroa as Kloffenstein angles to face the minimum for a 2nd consecutive inning here. 2 and two on Baroa. Kloffenstein deals, and Stewart able to fight it off. Scrapes it backstop. Breaking ball down and away on him. Two and two on Stuart Baroa. 2 outs, bases clear. The pitch. Fastball down and in on him. Jackknifes out of the way of it. Full count on Baroa. Kloffenstein hasn't given up a hit yet, but he has now walked 3 guys. 3-2, down and in. He's now walked a 4th. Baroa, granting a free pass for a 2nd time here in this one, extends the inning for Felix Reyes. Felix in his return to the Pigs last night went hitless, but did pick up an RBI with a sacrifice fly. Runner at first, 2 outs. Kloffenstein back to the stretch again. Long hold, sees the pitch count down, and now throws over first. And Baroa dives back. Felix, the high navy blue socks to complement his navy blue jersey, was really fun watching him up in the big leagues for the first time. Baroa's running, got a great jump. Breaking ball's a strike. Throw down to second. Not nearly in time. No chance for Peyton Henry to throw him out. That one was stolen straight off of Kloffenstein. Baroa with his 9th stolen base of the season for the Pigs. So, man scoring position for the IronPigs. Both teams looking for a hit with a man scoring position. They were a combined 0 for 7. 0-1. Breaking ball down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carter Keyboom on deck. Pigs have left 2 in scoring position today. Look back at second base. Baroa takes his lead. 1-1. Reyes swings. It's a towering drive deep down the left field side. Back it goes. It is gone. Felix Reyes is back. First homer since he was optioned. A 2-run shot to left gets the Pigs on the board and in front for the first time since last Friday night. It's 2-0 IronPigs here in the last of the 3rd. Reyes with his 7th of the season. Clobbers 1 out to left. 111 off the bat. 430. That baseball was demolished. No doubter, and Felix able to stare and watch a little bit. Made sure that ball cleared the Tiki Oasis and left by a country mile and into the home run trot. Felix, it's nice to have you back. First pitch to Carter Keyboom. Carter swings, pops it up. On the infield, third base line. Catcher Henry going up, and the third baseman Ornelas will come in, and just about 30 feet in front of home plate, he makes the catch. Keep him retired, and the inning over. But the Pigs on the board first. 2-run homer for Felix Reyes. Gives them the lead, and we go to the fourth. It's 2-0 Iron Pigs here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Jefferson Health. Come together for this. Jefferson Health and Lehigh Valley Health Network together for the
When IronPigs fans for your networks, join the pack. Franchises are now available.
It's Jane from Toyota. It's your head and let's stand out. Jump in, camera. Next, we're going to eat the hot springs and fun.
You're listening to the IronPigs Radio Network.
Top of the fourth, it's the IronPigs 2, RailRiders nothing. It's time for the fourth inning, brought to you by Toyota. Check out Toyota.com and visit your local Tri-State Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go Pigs. 2-0 lead for the Pigs as 2-run homer for Felix Reyes. Gets them in front for the first time since last Friday night in Rochester. It's been a bit, but it's nice to have the lead. And Tucker Davidson on the mound, who is not allowed to run here at home in his last 15 innings. Ali Sanchez leads it off, singled his first time up. And Davidson misses outside of the slider to him. 1 ball and no strikes. Sanchez, Henry, and Ornelas due up here in the fourth. Davidson the stretch, 1-0 pitch, and Sanchez a good pass, but he fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not that you ever truly forget the kind of raw Titanic power that Felix Reyes has, but to see it again in person, 1-1. Sanchez a bouncer over the mound, right towards second base. Peguero barely has to move from his starting spot. Gloves throws to first. Plenty of time to get Sanchez first out here in the fourth. But seeing it again in person and seeing a breathtaking drive just effortlessly leave the barrel of his bat and clear the horizon it's a sight to behold. 1 out and nobody on for Peyton Henry. Walked his first time up. Davidson's first pitch. Henry swings and rolls it softly up the third base side. That's a foul ball. 0-1. I find it funny that of all the IL teams for Henry to end up with after being with the Pigs last year, it ends up being Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Henry hit more than half of his homers last year actually against Scranton, including a grand slam off of Cam Schlittler. 0-1, fouled into the mitt of Ricketts. 0-2. It's when the Pigs either didn't have a hit or one hit through 3 or 4 innings against Schlittler and then pounced for 7 runs. Henry's grand slam, the capper on it. 0-2 on Henry. Crowd gets loud. Pitch home, and Henry a chopper left side right to the shortstop. Tyro fields the room surface hop, slings it over the first. Henry retired. 2 up, 2 down here in the fourth. Base is clear for Jonathan Ornelas. Did a weak tapper, broken bat first base side, his first time up. Tucker Davidson put away himself. Love seeing Tucker getting these weak ground outs. That's when you know he's really mixing and matching well. First pitch home, Ornelas thought about it, but leaves the fastball just a little bit high. 2-0 Iron Pigs, top of the fourth. First of the day is a 2-run homer for Felix Reyes. 1-0 pitch. Ornelas, big hack, comes up empty. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield shades in just the other way. Wind blowing in from left, which honestly makes Reyes' homer all the more impressive. Pitch home, he's way out in front of a splitter that looks like he had a parachute that it pulled on the way home. 1-2. Ornelas will call time and step out. Davidson looking for his first 1-2-3 inning of the day here. Even despite that, his pitch count in a pretty good spot. This will be his 59th pitch of the game. 1-2. Sweeper high and away. Ornelas an easy take. Two and two on Ornelas. Davidson to the ready. Third base side, kicks the leg high down the hill. Just a little high. Splitter had Ornelas on the edge of his seat, but would not commit. 3-2 on Ornelas. Davidson eyeing a perfect frame. The pitch. Homer Ornelas a ground ball up the middle to his left. Cairo there to gobble it up. Shortstop throws to first. Right to Chester Reyes to retire Ornelas, and 3 ground ball outs here for Tucker Davidson in a 1-2-3-4. That's a Mates 1-2-3 inning. For your cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs, visit MatesHomeservice.com to book your appointment today. We go bottom 4. It's 2-0 Iron Pigs here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Shop unbeatable deals on the hottest styles during Ashley's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 20% store-wide, or take advantage of 60 months no interest financing with no minimum purchase. Plus, explore doorbuster savings, whether you're refreshing one space or your entire home. Now is the time to save big using incredible holiday savings. Save up to 20% or enjoy 60 months no interest financing. These Memorial Day deals won't last long. Don't miss out. Happening now at Ashley.
This is the Herd.
Gotta be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
They treat quarterback like it's a slot corner or an off-ball linebacker. We may get to it at the trading deadline. We'll see what plays out. That's how they do it. The Eagles, a great organization. They had Carson Wentz. They drafted Jalen Hurts. Belichick, during Brady's best years, every couple of years he's drafted a quarterback. Green Bay Packers, it's an industry. They draft Aaron, 6 years. They draft Jordan Love, 6 more years. Teams don't do it that way. And basically, Big Ben had his last great year in 2020. The following year, Big Ben fell off a cliff. Their game plan was Mitch Trubisky, who had been a backup in Buffalo, and Kenny Pickett, a massive overdraft. They treat the quarterback with absolutely no urgency.
This is the Herd with Colin Cowherd. Wow. Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. You're listening to Iron Pigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio 94.7 FM, 12:30 a.m. and streaming at lvfoxsports.com.
Bottom of the fourth, Rav fourth inning. Drops along brought to you by Toyota. Check out Toyota.com and visit your local Tri-State Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go Pigs. Adam Kloffenstein's first pitch sweeper. Brian De La Cruz is swept all the way to the backstop. Missing away outside. 1 ball, no strikes. De La Cruz lined out to deep left. First time up. Pigs with 2 runs off of Kloffenstein on the Reyes homer last inning. It's actually the first hit they have off of it. And the only hit. 1-0. De La Cruz swings to the fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right on right matchup. Kloffenstein first base side of the hill. Winds and delivers. Nearly paints the edge with a changeup, but it's just down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. De La Cruz slightly open stance, bright red batting gloves with a black bat. The pitch home, Sweeper barely below the bottom of the zone. Taylor Cruz, good eye. Three and one on De La Cruz. Kloffenstein to the plates. Breaking ball backs up. It's down to in, and Kloffenstein walks another. So early command issues here for Adam Kloffenstein. That is now the 5th walk he's allowed. Pigs really haven't been able to make him pay too much as Peyton Henry is going to take a trip out to the mound here to take Kloffenstein's temperature. It's not going to end up with anybody in the bullpen starting to move for Scranton. So I thought maybe Kloffenstein at 54-ish pitches. He hasn't gone too deep into games this season. He went a season-high 83 pitches his last time out. He's always been somebody who is a little bit laborious. 83 pitches for 4 2/3 innings, 81 for 3 2/3. The start before that. Dylan Carlson will greet him after the mound visit. Switch hitter batting left. Flying out to left field his first time up. Taylor Cruz at first. Kloffenstein's first pitch. Misses. It's up high. Change up. Out of the zone. The over Piguero on deck. Carlson, who homered last night to snap the Pigs' 25-inning scoreless drought. 1-0 pitch. Carlson, big swing. Fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies play a day game later today, about an hour away. We'll have first pitch against the Cincinnati Reds, trying to win yet another series for Don Mattingly. 1-1. Fastball down and in. Ball 2. Lost last night. Chase Burns, who has been so good for Cincinnati this season, throwing another gem against them. Offense being a bit silent. Kyle Schwarber is out again today with an undisclosed illness. They said it's some sort of stomach bug. Carlson late on the sinker, swings and misses. 2-2. So hopefully he'll be back soon, but Otto Kemp in the lineup again. Play left field and bat 9. 2-2 on Carlson. Ornelas way off the line at third base, basically playing shortstop. 2-2. Carlson, a hard ground ball just outside the bag at first. Foul ball. First base umpire Jared Dorson. On top of that, umpires today brought to you by Gross McGinley, attorneys at law. Gross McGinley been providing trusted legal counsel to the greater Lehigh Valley for the past 50 years. And Dorson at first, Trevor Daniger out at second, Austin Jones at third, and Raul Moreno behind the plates. 2-2 again. Carlson leaves a fastball up high. Full count. See if De La Cruz runs here. Full count, nobody out. With Kloffenstein's command issues, probably going to keep him at first. No reason to run yourself out of an inning. Already had 1 runner thrown out today. Kloffenstein's 3-2. De La Cruz is running. The pitch is up and away, so it won't matter. It's ball 4. Second straight walk here to be in the 4th and the 6th of the day for Adam Kloffenstein. It's one off of his career high, which is 7, coming a couple of years back when he was at AA, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. It's the Altoona Curve. Still nobody throwing out the RailRiders bullpen. This is just, Kloffenstein having only given up 1 hit. It's, okay, would you rather have given up 6 hits and 1 walk or 6 walks and 1 hit? It hasn't really burned him yet, so you just gotta let him keep on going with it. Here's the over Piguero. First and second, nobody out. First pitch home. Piguero swings and misses. Sweeper down and away. Piguero was down on strikes on 3 pitches his first time up. Most of them being the sweeper down and away. Basically the same one he just swung through. I'd be shocked if Kloffenstein throws him anything but that here in the at-bat. 2 on, nobody out. Look to second, strike one pitch. Sweeper bounced over the third base bag. Down the left field line. It sneaks inside the sidewall. It'll go all the way to the corner. Daly Cruz scores around third. Flying to the plate, Carlson. The relay home is late. And Leover Peguero in at second with a 2-run double. Doubles the Pigs' lead. It's a 4-0 lead here at the bottom of the fourth. He went back to the sweeper, but Kloffenstein left it over the inside corner, and Peguero able to punch it hard to the ground just inside the bag. It getting inside the sidewall gave Carlson a chance to motor all the way home from first. Tank a good send, beat the relay by a mile. And the Pigs finally capitalize on the 6 walks from Kloffenstein. Man at second. And disengagement there for Kloffenstein trying to get Peguero at second base. Padres Caleb Ricketts grounded out to first, his first time up. 4-0 Pigs. Bottom 4, the pitch home. Ricketts, a ground ball right side. In between first and second, first baseman Brown will cut it off and flipped Kloffenstein covering to retire Ricketts on a 3-1 putout for the second time today. But Peguero over to third base, and he'll be there with 1 out, and Robert Moore coming up next. So Ricketts does a job, gets him over, and now Moore, rounded out to second, sharply hit ground ball. It's first time up. We'll try to produce a run here. Now time called as it looks like Peguero is having some belt issues over at third base. Guess that's been sorted out. And at third, 1 out. Infield is in for the RailRiders. Pitch home, backdoor sweeper. Finds back porch locked, down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Moore with 13 RBIs on the season. Open stance from the left side, wiggles the bat. 1-0, a bouncing ball by a diving Brown at first and down the right field line. It'll kick off the sidewall, coming in to score Peguero. Moore on his way to second. He'll be there standing. It's an RBI double, and it's 5-0 IronPigs here in the last of the fourth. IronPigs offense finally coming out of its shell. Broke the scoreless drought yesterday, and now they've scored 5 runs here today off of Adam Kloffenstein in 3 1/3 innings of work. RBI double for Moore. 14th RBI of the season for him. Peguero, by the way, now up to 23 RBIs. Is going to get a mound visit. Spencer Bennett, the new pitching coach for the RailRiders, was the bullpen coach last year. Goes out and talks to Kloffenstein, and he's the first pitching coach I've actually seen go out with a brisk pace with a jog to make sure that he doesn't burn too much time off of the pitch clock, because you are completely limited to the 30 seconds that you have on the clock. And Pigs got banged on that earlier in the season. Phil Kandari coming out, forgot about the rule, and automatic ball was assessed. Danny Watson is starting to loosen out in the RailRiders bullpen as the walks from Kloffenstein are piled up, and now the hits are finally starting to come for the Pigs. A couple of RBI doubles here in the fourth, following Reyes' 2-run homer last one. First pitch home to Christian Cairo with Moore out at second, so sweeper a little bit high. Now can the Pigs pour it on? The way everything's gone over the past couple of weeks, feels like every chance to add more and do more is going to have to be taken, because you don't know what's around the next corner. Look back at second. 1-0 from Kloffenstein. Sweeper backs up. This is in. Cairo walked his last time up and then was caught stealing after flying out to deep right center back in the first. Two-0 on Cairo. Second baseman Luciano holding Moore very tight. Basically on top of the bag here. Inside move, Kloffenstein will chase Moore back to the bag. 2-0 on Cairo. Kloffenstein to the plate. Christian off the hand. Soft liner. Right center. That's going to find some grass. Down for a hit. More around third. Fernandez up with it in right, but he just throws it to second. It's an RBI single for Christian Cairo. Pigs add another. It's 6-0 in the fourth. And man, I'm a little surprised Fernandez didn't make a throw to the plate. Because it felt like Moore's break from second. Yeah, he was looking back at the baseball to make sure it dropped before sprinting to third. I thought Fernandez maybe with his cannon of an arm, outside chance to get him. But Cairo, base hit the other way. It was a 4-run fourth inning for the IronPigs. Cairo at first one home to Stuart Baroa. It's up and away. Baroa, switch hitter batting left, has walked twice today, scored a run and stole a base. Throw to first. Cairo is back. Kloffenstein now at 70 pitches, so combine that with 6 runs, 4 hits, 6 walks. End of the line probably coming shortly from Cairo with a humongous lead over at first. And now Kloffenstein is being reminded to make eye contact with Baroa.
I've seen a bunch of other people. I saw cancer.
1-0 on Stewart. Infield plays with Polo and Ellis on the grass at third base. A throw over to first, and Cairo belly flops back. Man, he had to actually launch himself airborne to get back safely. Pitch home. Baroa takes outside. Ball 2. Two 2-0 on Baroa. The pitch home. Stewart taking all the way. Fastball is on the outer corner. 2-1. So the Pigs, 4 runs in the inning. It is their biggest inning since they were able to plate 6 runs last Wednesday in Rochester. Pigs have had a dearth of big innings this season. Pitch comes home. Cairo takes off. Pitch is low. Throw to second on a hop. Is unable to be handled by Lombard. Cairo in safely. Ball squirts in the shallow center where Lombard retrieves it. And Cairo with his 14th stolen base of the season. Some retribution for being caught earlier in the game. When the Pigs scored last week in Rochester, it ended up being, let's see here, a 6-run top of the second against the Red Wings last Wednesday. It was their first inning of 5 runs or more in a month. Baroa checks the swing and taps the 3-1 to the on-deck hitter. 3-2. They went from April 3rd to May 13th without an inning of 5 runs or more. I haven't scored 5 runs in this inning yet, but even the 4 runs scored feels like just an explosion. 3-2. Baroa, bouncing ball right side to his right. First baseman Brown corrals it, flips to Kloffenstein covering, beats Baroa there. Second out of the inning recorded. Over to third goes Cairo. 2 outs, and Felix Reyes coming up next. Very least, Kloffenstein's been getting his cardio in here. That's now the 3rd 3-1 putout that Scranton has converted on today. Man at third, 2 outs, and Stuart Baroa now the hitter. Same spot that he was in last inning when he demolished a 2-run homer out to left. It's now 6-0 Pigs, bottom 4. First pitch sweeper, down and away to him. In the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Reyes the 8th man to hit here in the 4th. Cairo leads down the line at third base. Kloffenstein goes to the full windup, steps into it. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses off the edge. Down and away. 2-0 on Felix Reyes. The wide and the pitch. Felix off the end of the bat, a pop-up, shallow left center, breaking back Lombard, and he can't get there. Falls in over his head. Nobody's covering second. Reyes darting for the bag. The throw, they got him. Arnell is speeding in from third. Got there in time to apply the tag. Cairo does score to make it 7-0, but the rare 6-5 put out at second base ends the inning. Pigs, though, score 5 in the frame. We go to the 5th. It's 7-0 Iron Pigs here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Each one has been part of the Lehigh Valley community for more than 40 years. The life system and products being manufactured right here in Scranton.
You make it like that plays an uncommon occurrence. I mean, you can see that all the time.
All the time. just like the 1-2 put out on a wild pitch at the plate, right?
Yeah, exactly. Routine stuff, Sam.
Routine. Just how you draw it up. It's just how you practice.
Trusted over
Next, we're heading to the hot springs and grab forks. And finally, start to tuck some moments around the campfire because we're roasting marshmallows. Summer's right there.
You're listening to the Iron Pigs Radio Network.
Top of the 5th, Iron Pigs with a 5-run bottom of the 4th, able to stake a 7-0 lead here on Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Their offense, well, they went 25 innings without a run, and they found their footing again here. His first pitch fastball to Kennedy Corona from Tucker Davidson is inside ball 1. And while one scoreless streak ended for the Pigs, another has begun, or rather has continued. 1-0 to Corona. Davidson slices the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike as Davidson now up to 16 consecutive scoreless innings here at Coca-Cola Park. Today, giving up just 2 hits. Corona 0 for 1 today with a strikeout. Takes a look at the sinker, nearly at the same spot, outside black. 1 and 2, Davidson 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and most importantly, a big goose egg in the runs column. 1-2 pitch. Corona, hard ground ball toward short, and that's going to sneak into left center for a base hit. Leadoff single here for Scranton. They try to answer back. Of course, the Pigs, leading by 7, maybe starting to feel comfortable, but this is a RailRiders offense that did just score the most runs the Pigs have allowed this season, as well as got the most hits. So, tread lightly. Top of the order, George Lombard, the hitter. 1 for 2 with a double. First pitch home. Sinker misses down low on him. Danny Watson, who was warming in the RailRiders bullpen, has sat down out in their pen. I'd guess he's just going to get back up when the inning starts to come to a close. 1-0 fastball, sped it by Lombard, swings through it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lombard, first-round pick by the Yankees a couple of years back. Another high school shortstop out of Gulliver Prep down in Pinecrest, Florida. Turns 21 at the start of next month. 1-1. Heater, can't get the call. Down and away. 2 balls, 1 strike. As the Yankees have started to churn out prospects like this. Anthony Volpe, now Lombard. Corona at first. Davidson, the southpaw set, high leg kick, the pitch home, and Lombard chases up, fouls it back, up and into the sweet level. 2-2. And looking at Brian De La Cruz in right field, he is right now surrounded by 4 red bags, just blowing in the wind. There's one out in left center, too. De La Cruz is unfazed by it. They're all just going to end up blowing into the right field corner at some point. But hopefully somebody picks them up before somebody doubles into the corner and ball goes into the bag and you don't know which one it's actually in. 2-2, runner goes, and Lombard fouls it away. Two and two on George Lombard. Kennedy Corona leadoff single here in the fifth. Lombard hands held low, out over the inside corner of the plate. 2-2, runner stays put, pitches in the dirt, skips right by Ricketts to the backstop, and a wild pitch puts Corona at second base. Second wild pitch of the day. Davidson kind of comes to the territory throwing a splitter like he does. Sometimes he's going to bounce it, sometimes catcher's not going to be able to block it. Runners might get a little bit aggressive, and, well, that's how you end up here. So runner at second, nobody out. Full count on Lombard. Davidson ready, the payoff, swing and a miss. Swing back to the splitter, double down on it, got Lombard to chase. Down to the way, he's down swinging. Third strikeout of the day for Davidson. One gone in the fifth, and Yanquiel Fernandez coming up next. Davidson has had Fernandez lunging today, but so out in front. A couple of breaking balls, popping them up. You saw yesterday, Fernandez can mash a fastball. First pitch home, sinker is down and away to him. If he changed speeds a little bit, he might have some trouble. He was once a pretty highly regarded prospect in the Rocky system who was always known he had some swing and miss, but man, the raw power potential from this guy is unlimited. 1-0 pitch. Fastball able to hit the outside corner at the knees. 1-1. He made his major league debut with the Rockies last year. He played 52 games, 31 hits, 4 homers, 11 RBIs with a .225 average. Got DFA'd and claimed by the Yankees. 1-1 coming. Down the dirt. He lays off. It was a couple years back when he was with the Fresno Grizzlies. I think this was 2023. He led all of minor league baseball in RBIs. I think it might have been over 100. Just an absolutely insane season. Runner at second, 1 out. 2-1 coming. Breaking ball, and he's out in front. Yanks it down the right field side. And that ball's ticketed for big yellow school buses out in the parking lot. 2-2. I can honestly say I have never seen this many school buses at once. It is a sea of yellow. I really hope they give the bus drivers tickets to the game. Come in and watch. 2-2 pitch. Fernandez pops it up, back over our heads, and out of play. 2-2. Seven 0 IronPigs. Top of the fifth, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. They have not lost 5 in a row yet this year. 2-2. Fernandez fouls away another, bounced off the RailRiders dugout. Actually, Karams all the way back out to second base. For as bad as things have been at times in the past month, the Pigs, at least they have not lost 5 in a row. Right now, Iowa thought the Pigs had it tough. They've lost 8 in a row. So on the flip end, the Nashville Sounds have won 8 straight. 2-2, and Fernandez scrapes another one to the backstop. 2-2 on Yanquiel Fernandez. Kennedy Corona at second. The pitch. Fernandez, a bouncing ball at the first base side. Another foul ball. That was the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Davidson at 80 pitches now. Pigs have gotten somebody up out of the bullpen. 2-2. Check swing, pitch in the dirt, appeal to third. He held up. Michael Mercado throwing out in the IronPigs bullpen. He'll be the first arm out of the barn today. 3-2 on Fernandez. 10th pitch of the battle coming up next. Corona at second. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Sweeper from Davidson. Chased it down and away, and he wins the 10-pitch at bat. 4th strikeout of the day for Tucker. His 2nd in a row. Runner still out at second. Now 2 outs. Marco Luciano coming up. Danny Watson starting to throw again out in the RailRiders bullpen. I'd expect him to come on when we go to the bottom of the 5th. Luciano 0 for 1 today with a walk. Davidson's first offering. Splitter able to drop in right at the bottom of the zone. 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Fastball just down the way. Pigs with 5 in the bottom of the 4th, looking for the shutdown inning here from Davidson. First time they've led in a game since last Friday night. 7-run lead at that. Corona big lead at second, 1-1 pitch. Sweeper rather from Davidson. This is up and away. Two one coming. Luciano, a ground ball over to third. Back of the bag, Moore there to glove it. Throws across the diamond, right on target to Felix Reyes. Retires Luciano in the inning over. So Davidson, 5 scoreless innings here at home, now 17 straight here at Coca-Cola Park. So we're halfway through this one. Bottom 5 we go. It's 7-0 IronPigs here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Hey, this is Jonathan Nightingale. Shop Ashley.
The savings are massive on the hottest styles during Ashley's Memorial Sale. The top price is $2.99. Save up to 20% on all Ashley contracts. Or enjoy 60 months and finance financing with no minimum purchase. These Memorial Day deals will last. Shop today at Ashley.
Score update presented by Ashley. Phillies are winning the France here, 105 for the pitch of that game. And internationally, the IronPigs are away from the RailRiders. Really good at the halfway mark for this one. They're up 7-0. In the resumed suspended game from yesterday, Columbus now leads 5-4 in the bottom half of the 8th. Running up a twin bill, 1-1 Indianapolis, and Toledo tied at the top of the 6th. A lot of scoring between Syracuse and Buffalo. The Mets lead 5-4 in the top of the 5th. Top 2 early action scores, Charlotte, Team in Jackson. Iowa will meet Memphis at 1:08 at 6:05. Worcester will battle Rochester later on today. Further night action, Gwinnett meets Charlotte at 6:35, 6:45. Durham hosting Nashville, and at 7:37, St. Paul will battle Omaha. Toledo and Indianapolis will round out their doubleheader, and of course, the game later today between Louisville and Columbus. It was scheduled to be played today. 7-0 Pigs will go bottom 5. Back to Sam Jelinek.
Thank you, Jack. Halfway home, IronPigs with a 7-0 lead on Scranton, and they have chased Adam Kloffenstein out of this ball game as Danny Watson takes over. Kloffenstein right now on the hook for the loss. 4 innings, 7 runs. He's given up 5 hits, 6 walks, and 1 strikeout. So Watson takes over in his place, right-handed pitcher, first time the Pigs have seen Watson on the season. Watson making his 14th appearance for the RailRiders. 19 and 2/3 innings, owns a 3-1 record with a 3.66 ERA, 24 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 17 hits. 15th round pick, the Yankees out of Virginia Commonwealth. College teammate, might have overlapped, might have not, with currently injured Iron Pig Connor Gillespie, who, if you missed it a couple weeks back, did undergo Tommy John surgery. So all the best to Connor, hopefully feeling better and on the road to recovery. Don't know if he'll be with us next year or not, but it was a pleasure to have when he was here. Carter Keyboom leads it off against Watson on the mounds. Long-limbed guy on the bump delivers home, and it's up and in. Long-limbed, no doubt, because he is 6'7". Probably could have played for Shaka Smart when he was at VCU. 1-0 pitch. Keyboom with a bouncing ball over to third on the backhand. Ornelas sees it into the glove, throws across the diamonds, and gets Keyboom here to begin the fifth. Watson, 25 years old. Spent all of last year with Double-A Somerset through 57 innings and 43 appearances with a 4.74 ERA and a 1-4 record. It was actually his second consecutive year with Somerset. Michael Mercado continuing to throw out in the Pigs bullpen. First pitch to Brian De La Cruz. In for a strike, 0-1. So it looks like Davidson at mid-80 pitches is going to be done after 5 more scoreless innings here at home. De La Cruz 0 for 1 today, walked and scored last inning. 0-1. De La Cruz fouls it back, up and over the screen. Quickly down on the counts, 0-2. Watson, ball behind his back. Comes set. De La Cruz is going to call time, step out here. Watson from the set position is kind of like Ryan Walker for the San Francisco Giants. He comes set crossfire with his number actually showing to the plate. Kicks the leg, 0-2, and De La Cruz tied up in knots. Fastball up and in. Tried to hold back the swing, but he couldn't. He's down on strikes. And after the second out here in the fifth. 2 quick outs. Brings up Dylan Carlson. Walked as well to begin last inning, coming around to score on the 2-run double for the over Figuera. Base is clear. Carlson switch hitter batting left. First pitch, slider. It's on the outside corner, 0-1. 7-0 Iron Pigs. 7 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. No runs, 3 hits, and 1 error for the RailRiders. Strike 1 on the way. Carlson tops it over to second. Waiting for it. Luciano gobbles it up, throws to first. Gets Carlson, and the Pigs down in order in the fifth against Danny Watson. Go to the sixth. 7-0. Iron Pigs lead it here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Can we acknowledge the fact that the streak is more than a line?
It's 17 innings, and that's it.
Jefferson Health and Lehigh Valley Health Network together.
Just 2 miles north of Houston. In other news, did you see what happened at the Diamondbacks Giants game on Monday?
What, 6 pitches in the Arenado Grand Slam?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
Pretty wild.
I mean, there's a chance you might never see that happen again.
Man, it'd be hard to do it on fewer pitches.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously, fewer you can get.
Yeah. Well, some pitch clock violations, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I didn't think of that. More information on the course. I mean, there's jumping all over a guy, and then there's that. So. Listening to the IronPigs Radio Network.
Top of the sixth, IronPigs shutting out the RailRiders 7-0, and Tucker Davidson down after 5 scoreless innings here today. Can't go 3 straight starts here at home of 6 shutout. Has to settle for 5 shutout instead. 17 consecutive scoreless innings for Tucker here at home. He leaves in line for the win. As Michael Mercado will take over, Davidson ended up with no runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts, taking him 86 pitches. Michael Mercado coming off of a good week in Rochester. He threw 3 scoreless innings in total. Got the win on the 14th, the last win the IronPigs had here. 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts that day as a first pitch fastball at 94. It's in for a strike to Oswaldo Cabrera. Cabrera, switch hitter, batting left. First 2 plate appearances today were from the right side. Takes a swing at the 0-1, bounces it into the RailRiders dugout. Foul ball, 0-2. It's quite fascinating to see Davidson deal here at home yet again, because not only is he dicing guys here at home, the disparate nature in which 0-2, that splitter up and away to Cabrera, 1-2. His road starts are going, so it's not like, there's a little bit of a drop-off. He has struggled on the road this year. 1-2 pitch. Hit hard on 1 hop back at first. Reyes able to spear it, though, down at his knees. Take it to the bag. Retire Cabrera. First out here in the 6th. It's kind of inexplicable and unexplainable. But for now, we'll love it, and we'll see whether or not Tucker can get the same mojo going for some of his road outings. 1 out, base is empty for Seth Brown. Mercado had some trouble his first couple of outings back with the IronPigs, coming back from a shoulder impingement. First pitch to Brown, he swings for a cutter, 0-1. You could tell that there was some rust he was still knocking off. His rehab was supposed to be closer to a month. It was shortened to 2.5 weeks, and it was kind of, finishing out in a way when he rejoined the Pigs. 0-1, curveballs outside, 1-1. Last 2 outings against Rochester, we saw the velo start to tick up a little bit more to 94 to the 96 range, and that's when Mercado was at his best out of the bullpen. 1-1 pitch. Brown hits a high, towering drive, deep right center field, going back at Carlson to the track at the wall, and it's just out of here. Barely clearing the high wall in right center. Seth Brown goes deep for a second straight day, nearly to the same exact spot. Pig shutout bid is done. RailRiders on the board. 7-1 IronPigs here in the 6th. 8th of the season for Brown, 16 RBIs as well here. Fastball caught a lot of the plate, and Brown got a good piece of it. The wind's blowing left to right across the field. First pitch is down and into Ali Sanchez. Ball 1. Don't think it really helped it out, but obviously the hot weather. Ball flies a little bit better. So that's the first run Mercado's allowed since May 10th against Buffalo. 1-0. This is the cutter. Down and away, and actually the first homer he's allowed since rejoining the IronPigs at the beginning of the month. 2-0 pitch, up and in, and it hits Sanchez in the shoulder. So after the homer, Mercado losing his command a little bit. Hits Sanchez, and at first, 1 out, and that brings up Mercado's old battery mate, Peyton Henry. These two working in tandem a good bit last year. See if that gives Henry an advantage or if it gives Mercado the advantage. I haven't seen Henry up close. First pitch, bouncer back to the mound. Mercado reaching up, gloves it, bobbles it, holds onto it, throws low to first, and Reyes can't pick it. There'll be an error on Mercado as, after he bobbled it and held onto it, just the grip on the baseball did not seem ideal for him. He immediately went and licked at his hands. Frustrating for Mercado there. Allows Henry to reach. At first, when Mercado leapt up and was able to grab that baseball, you thought, oh man, he might be able to start a double play here. That's what he was thinking initially. Caleb Rickett's going to make a trip to the mound to talk to Mercado. But then the bobble came, he held on to it. He even set his feet before throwing to first, but he just rushed himself enough there. And then Reyes did a good job knocking that baseball down because that was a hot shot skipping at him. First and second, 1 out. 1 run in for the RailRiders. They try to rally to get back into this. Jonathan Ornell is the hitter. 4 hits last night, but over 2 today. Takes a look at a cutter just off the outside corner, and Ricketts is going to challenge. And upon review, just missed off the outside corner. Not a bad look by Ricketts. That pitch missed by 0.4 of an inch. One-0 coming. And Ornelas shoots it in the air, deep right center field on a line, tracing back as Carlson, and he flags it down. Sets the feed, fires back to the infield. Runners retreat to first and second. That's the second out here in the sixth. Man, the ball is flying really well out to right center. Ornelas hit that ball on the screws. You could even tell the way that Carlson was going back on that. That just kept on going on it. Two outs, 2 on. Batter Kennedy Corona laid on the first pitch fastball. Foul tip, held on to by Ricketts. 0-1. 7-1. IronPigs lead. The shutout bid is done on the Seth Brown solo homer, but Mercado trying to limit the damage here. Righty set of the belts. Fires home. Fastball up and away. One-0 coming. Corona just a little late. Fouls the sinker back. 1-2. Have not seen, I don't think we've seen the splitter from Mercado yet here in this outing. Like Max Nazar, really working it in more over the past year plus. Pitch that's been effective for him. Fastball, cutter, splitter, curveball. 2 on, 2 outs. The 1-2. Curveball way high, slips out of his hands. 2-2. Corona open stance to the right side. Wiggly with the bat. Gray barrel on it. 2-2. Bouncing ball towards short. To his left. Cairo there to vacuum it up. Heaves it over to first. In time to get Corona and end the inning. Mercado allows a run on the solo homer, but works around his own error to strand to a board. We go to the bottom of the sixth. 7-1. IronPigs lead here on the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
From the Wilkes-Barre Eastern Honda Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio. Wilkes-Barre Eastern Honda, 2 trusted names, 5-star customer service.
Shop Mercado styles. Save up to 20% store-wide, or take advantage of 60 months no-interest financing. No Now is save up to 20%.
We're celebrating 25 years of covering Lehigh Valley sports. Moments like Whitehall's Saquon Barkley being the #2 overall pick in the 2018 NFL Draft by the New York Giants. Covering the biggest moments of Lehigh Valley sports for 25 years. This is Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM and 12:30 a.m. in Easton. You're listening to the IronPigs Radio Network.
We go to the bottom of the sixth. It's the IronPigs 7 and the RailRiders 1. Danny Watson back out there for Scranton as the IronPigs lose the shutout bid in the top of the sixth, but still have a 6-run lead here. The over Figueroa leading off against Watson. Watson a 1-2-3 fifth, hangs around for the sixth, and first pitch slider brushes him back off the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Figueroa had one of the big hits back in the fourth. 5-run inning for the Pigs, just their 4th big inning of the season. 1-0, slider finds the top of the zone, inside corner, 1-1. Figueroa 2-run double, giving him his 16th double of the season, which is top 3 in the International League. 1-1 coming. Slider up and in. That fouled off the knob. Figueroa's batting off a Henry. Home plate umpire will walk a baseball out to Watson's. Henry got dinged up a little bit on that, but he has not indicated whether or not that was a strike or if that just careened off a Henry with Figueroa taking the pitch. For the moment, the scoreboard says 2-1. My initial thought was it kind of looked like it was fouled off, but we'll go with 1-2, 2-1. Nobody knows. Pitch home. This is inside. See if home plate umpire Will Moreno gives us the count here. Scoreboard in the ballpark says 3-1. Online says 2-2. Pitch home. Figueroa off the hands. Nearly got hit by the pitch, but he fouls it back. Both teams with arms loosening in the bullpen. It's Nolan Hoffman for the IronPigs, and that looks like Carson Coleman for Scranton. Pitch home. Breaking ball inside, almost hit Figueroa. Goes to the backstop, and that gives us our answer. That was the 2-2 pitch. Or is it ball forward? Now Figueroa's, nobody knows the count. Figueroa doesn't seem to think it's ball forward. And now Will Moreno, I guess, has indicated to him it is ball forward. So I guess that foul tip earlier in the at-bat wasn't a foul tip. And I'm not sure Peyton Henry knew that. And now the other umpire's going to come in. They're going to say it's ball 3. Figueroa's unsure. Nobody knows. I think it all stems from that potential foul ball on the pitch that almost hit Figueroa earlier in the at-bat. And is Figueroa going to be awarded first or not? And it is going to be a full count. So it was a foul tip. So that answers that. Figueroa doesn't seem to have too many gripes about that. Tank will talk it over with the third base umpire, Austin Jones. Seems to be on the same page as him. Told Tank it's a shame he hasn't gotten a run yet. He hasn't had a good opportunity. Thought maybe, the 25-inning scoreless drought might have been a good time to try to spark the guys. So Figueroa given the extra time here to suit up, get the shin guard back in, and now they're going to give Watson a warm-up pitch because it's taken so long here. And he says he's good. So Figueroa back to the box. Three and 2 on the over Figueroa. The payoff, and Figueroa swings. It's a line drive right in the second baseman, Luciano. He makes the catch for the first out here in the sixth. Tough break for Figueroa. Walk ripped away from him. Ends up lining him. I enjoy having Danny Watson on the mound because even though he legally is Daniel Scott Watson, he goes by Danny. I don't feel like there's enough Dannys out there. I'm only particularly fond of the name Danny. Pitch to Ricketts. He swings at the topper over to first. 3 hops, gloved by Brown. Surrounding it, flips to pitcher covering for the out. And Ricketts, for the 3rd time today, I think all of them on the first pitch, has grounded out on a 3-1 putout. But Danny, a favorite name of mine, only because I love the movie Caddyshack. Danny Noonan. Good old Danny boy. Two outs, bases empty. Robert Moore, the hitter, doubled over the first base bag his last time up, and he takes a breaking ball on the outside corner. 0-1. 7-1 IronPigs on the sixth. Watson to the plate. This is down low. 1-1. Watson is not yet allowed a base runner. The RailRiders bullpen last night barely allowed anything either. They wouldn't have allowed anything had a pop-up not gotten lost in the twilight. 1-1 curveball is down and in, ball two. But that allowed Sergio Alcantara to reach, and ultimately Stuart Baroa drove him in with an RBI. Base hit. 2-1 on Robert Moore. 2 outs, bottom 6. Pitch coming home. This is outside. 3-1. Three and one on Moore. Watson to the plate. Up and away. Ball 4, sinker misses. Back to top of the order, Christian Cairo. Cairo, an RBI single his last time up, and that's going to be it for Danny Watson. Goes an inning and 2/3 for the moment, scoreless, allows just 1 walk. So he's got that going for him, which is pretty nice. Pitching change for the RailRiders. They'll go and get Carson Coleman out of the bullpen as Shelly Duncan takes the baseball from him. We got a pitching change back in 60 seconds here on the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Right now, the Dan Patrick Show. The American Football Coaches Association Board expected to release its decision to support a 2014 college football playoff. Now, this is just like March Madness. We didn't ask for it. I would have watched 2014. We just went for 12. We want to do 14 or 16. Okay. Now we're going to 20. Last year's final AP top 25. Iowa was ranked 17th for 4 losses. USC and Michigan, they were ranked 20th and 23rd for 4 losses. So we're going to see 15 and 4 losses. We're going to put the coaches are going to make the playoff.
This is 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
You're listening to the IronPigs Radio Network.
Still in the last of 6, IronPigs leading the RailRiders 7-1. Sam Jelinek with you here from the Science Sky broadcast booth. Carson Coleman takes over on the mound for the RailRiders. This Scranton pitching change brought to you by Lehigh Valley Chimney Specialists, keeping the valley safe, 1 chimney at a time. So Coleman takes over for Danny Watson, who goes an inning and 2/3. No hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. For the moment, no runs. Responsible for the runner over at first. Coleman, another right-handed pitcher. Making his 14th appearance. No record, 4.32 ERA. 16 and 2/3 innings, 18 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 13 hits. 33rd round pick by the Rays. Round that no longer exists. Out of the University of Kentucky. 28 years old. Born in Lexington. Blue blood through and through. Runner at first, 2 outs. Top of the order, Christian Cairo. First to face Coleman here. Coleman, first base out of the rubber. High leg kick. First pitch fastball is a 95-mile-an-hour heater at the knees. 0-1. Triple C Carson Coleman. Carson Kavanaugh Coleman. Love to know his parents, maybe siblings' names, if that's they all C's. They all have to be hard C's is also a question. 0-1. This is a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike, although I can't think of a name that begins with a soft C. Is that possible? I mean, it's possible language-wise, but as far as a name, you're not going to name a child Cello. 0-1, 1-1 rather, is up high. Ball 2. On that topic, I do know of one, it's not legally his name, but I do know of one child whose nickname at the very least is an instrument. I don't think it's his legal name. It wouldn't surprise me, but Tank, or manager Tank Addison here, who, of course, real name is Chris, but goes by Tank, throw to first, diving back, is more his son. Has a nickname. He goes by Banjo. Pitch comes home. More runs. Kyrall, hard ground ball out to short. Lombard charging, able to glove it. Throw over to first. Retires Cairo, and the inning is over. So Coleman comes on to finish the frame. Post score the 6th. We go to the 7th. 7-1. Iron Pigs lead it for the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Hey, campers, it's Jake from Toyota. This summer, we're heading to Camp Toyota, and the fun starts now. We're kicking things off by picking up fun. Jump in, campers. We're going on to get a 4-run. Next, we're heading to the hot springs in Radford. And finally, park your tundras and smokes around the campfire because we're roasting marshmallows. You're going to start here.
Studio outdoor applications and options are available. Check them out on the web at commonsoundphotography.com or give them a call at 44268-1082. Whether it's high school senior portraits, prom or reunion, big portrait show, digital photographic imaging will be able to capture moments for a lifetime. Digital photographic imaging, the official photographer of the Lehigh Valley IronPigs.
Not everyone knows. The utility only delivers your electricity and natural gas. IGS Energy gives you the power to choose not only your rate, but also your source. Because while energy runs your gadgets, appliances, heat, and air, straightforward, fixed-rate plans from IGS Energy can also fuel your peace of mind. It's why we're trusted by millions of households across the USA, and the official energy provider of the Lehigh Valley IronPigs. Explore your energy choices at IGS.com.
You're listening to the IronPigs Radio Network.
Top of the 7th, it's the IronPigs 7 and the RailRiders 1. Nolan Hoffman takes over on the mound for the Pigs, replacing Michael Mercado. Michael gives up 1 run in the 6th on a solo homer to Seth Brown, but otherwise an uneventful frame. Hoffman takes over with a 7-1 lead. 1-0 on the season. Nolan has been very, very good for the Pigs. 2.13 ERA, 12 2/3 innings, 19 punch-outs, only 5 walks. And a big shout-out to Joe in the chat, who on the SamCam feed has at least illuminated me a soft C first name of Cecilia, which he also astutely points out not many ball players with that name. And Joe, a fountain of knowledge, Babe Ruth's younger brother was named Cecilia. The more you know. First pitch, sinker to George Lombard Jr. is in for a strike on 1. That is honestly, I can say I've learned something new today. Which, I mean, I guess that was a common, not common, but a man's name. Early 1900s, I guess. 0-1, Lombard takes another cutter. 0-2. From George Herman Ruth to Cecilia Ruth. Huh. 0-2 on Lombard. He's 1 for 3 today with a double. Hoffman a deep breath. Crossfire set. Slings it home. Swing and a miss. John chasing. Sweeper down and away. And Hoffman, who's got one of the best K rates in the minors, opens up the 7th with a punch out. He's got a K rate just a little over 40%. him, Seth Johnson, and former Iron Pig Trevor Richards all in the top 10 in the International League. Hoffman, first appearance for him since he threw an inning, giving up a run on the 16th in Rochester. Left-handed hitting, Yanquiel Fernandez up next, swings the first pitch and lines it right past the ear of Hoffman and back through the box for a base hit. Nearly probably shaved his chin there, but it is a base hit for Fernandez, who had been 0 for 3, now 1 for 4 today. And at first, 1 out for Marco Luciano. Runner at first, 1 out. Luciano 0 for 2 today. He's bounced to third twice and walked. Hoffman to the plate. Breaking ball off the end of the bat, lined into left, and it's going to be caught by Baroa. Coming in and hung up long enough for him. And that's the second half of the inning. Say off the end of the bat, but Luciano just got the bat head out in front. Hit that ball actually on the screws. Was 105 off the bat, and that was the reason why it hung up so long. Nice break for the Pigs there. I thought initially that ball was going to have enough topspin for that to drop in for Luciano. But Hoffman working quickly here. 5 pitches and 2 outs here in the 7th. Man at first, Oswaldo Cabrera hits, switch hitter from the left side. Open stance, Hoffman to the plate. Cutter, backdoor, it's onto the outside corner, 0-1. 7-1 Iron Pigs, top of the 7th. 7 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Pigs, 1-5-1 for the RailRiders. Felix Reyes a 2-run homer in the 3rd, then 5 in the 4th. Hoffman set, strike 1 offering. Cabrera fouls it off catcher Ricketts. Careens to the backstop. Oh, 2 on Cabrera. Fernandez leads at first. Reyes holding him on. Hoffman, 2-strike pitch. Change up, down and away. 1-2. Infield plays Cabrera to pull here. He had the, can't really say backbreaking, but fully opened the floodgates last night. 3-run homer. 4 homers in the game for the RailRiders. 2 by Fernandez, 1 for Brown, and then 1 for Cabrera. 1-2 pitch. Cabrera, a line drive up the middle on 1 hop behind second, now crossing over to the right field side. Shortstop Cairo there to glove it, throw to first. In time to get Cabrera and the inning over. Some nice defense in the frame for the Pigs as Hoffman throws an efficient score the 7th. Time to stretch. We go bond 7. It's 7-1 Iron Pigs here in the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Find unbeatable savings on the season's hottest styles during Ashley's Memorial Day event. Save up to 20% on all beautifully crafted Ashley furniture, or take advantage of 60 months no-interest financing with no minimum purchase. Ready for better sleep? Enjoy free upgrades on select adjustable bases and get king-size comfort for queen-size pricing on select Ashley mattresses. These limited-time Memorial Day deals won't last, so now's the moment to upgrade your home in a big way. Shop today at Ashley.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington.
No shocker that Mike Brave was not going anywhere. Because this is what this organization is steeped in. Cheating, deceitfulness, lowbrow, conniving. There's always something with this franchise. And is this on? It's on. The reason Robert Kraft is not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, despite winning 6 championships as an owner, is exactly why is what we're experiencing now with Mike Brady. It speaks to the volume of where this franchise is and what they value, which is the dirty dealing, backstabbing, cheating, unfaithful stuff that's going on.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. You're listening to Iron Pigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM, 12:30 a.m., and streaming at lbfoxsports.com.
Hope you got a good stretch in. We go to the bottom of the seventh. Iron Pigs leading 7-1. Carson Coleman sticks back out there for the RailRiders. Winds and fires. First pitch fastball. Down and in on Stuart Barella. One ball, no strikes. Barella 0 for 1 today. Pair of walks. Scored a run. Stole a base. Pigs with 6 walks and 5 hits off of Adam Klopfenstein as Barella swings and misses. 1-1. I've been scoreless here against the RailRiders bullpen. And aside from a stroke of luck yesterday on a double lost in Twilight, 1-1. Fastball down the middle, 1-2. They've been basically held in check by the Scranton bullpen so far in the series. 1-2 on Barella. Home plate umpire Roel Moreno calls time. Barella back into the box. Coleman, extreme first base side of the rubber here. Wind and the pitch. Barella, foul tip, held on to by Henry. He's down on strikes. One away here to begin the seventh. And that's just the third strikeout of an Iron Pig hitter. If you look back, well, here in the month of May, and really over the course of the season, for as much as the Pigs may have struggled offensively, they have been putting the ball in play, which, as somebody who leans more towards the modern age, first pitch fastball to Felix Reyes is on the outer corner at 1-1 of run production, which is that strikeouts are not inherently an evil thing. 0-1 pitch. Fastball nearly scrapes the outside corner, 1-1. All the contact for the Pigs actually is not, the best thing in the world, because a lot of times it has not been hard contact. I'd rather them trade that 1-1, Felix whiffs on the heater, 1-2, for a little bit more swing and miss and a little bit more power production. I think we're deep enough into the season here that the nature of the Iron Pigs offense, where you look at it, they are coming into the day 1-2, breaking ball up and in, 2-2. They were tied for the fewest homers in their National League, while also top 2 in doubles, but also tied for dead last in triples. And for a while, you would try to break it down. 2-2, Reyes fouls it back. Okay, is that a product of homers just falling short and it's bad luck? I think it's a large enough sample size now that you could pretty definitively say it's not, coming up just short on a couple of homers. It's, the home run pop hasn't been there. 2-2, Reyes reaching for it, pops in the air down the right field side, giving Chase Fernandez by the sidewall. Has enough room, makes the catch in stride. Reyes retired. 2 outs and 7. And conversely, it's actually that for the most part, the Pigs, when they put the ball in play, they don't drive it too much. That leads to a lot more doubles. Balls in the gap, splitting the alley, things like that, as opposed to, driving the ball to the base of the wall. Last year the Pigs hit a lot of doubles because they were also hitting a lot of homers. First pitch coming home to Keyboom. This is outside ball 1. This year they're hitting a lot of doubles because they're not hitting a lot of homers. 1-0 on Carter Keyboom. 2 outs, bases empty. 7-1 Iron Pigs. Fastball knee, outer half, 1-1. Could that change as the season goes on? It certainly could. But you just look at the makeup of this roster, who some of these guys are historically. 1-1. Heater misses outside ball 2. And power was never the name of the game. Take Carter Keyboom, for example. This guy's going to hit over 300, get his base knocks, get his doubles, hit you low teens home runs. Stuart Barella is going to split gaps. Same with Leover Piguero. 2-1. Missing up and away. Fastball 3-1. Felix Reyes, Otto Kemp, or Brian De La Cruz were more the guys who, might blow the doors off power production once. Even De La Cruz, his big power output was this past winter. 3-1, Keyboom, a big swing, gets under it. High, pop-up, right side of the infield, out into shallow, right second baseman Luciano, dancing at the last moment, but he sticks with it, makes the catch, and the Pigs down in order here in the 7th. We go to the 8th, 7-1 Iron Pigs. Here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
Can we cut all that?
That's not going to convince anyone. Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some more skeptical. And none of this noise is going to convince you that Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste, because the only thing that'll make you believe that is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
Score update presented by Ashley. Phillies underway. They're scoreless at the bottom of the first against the Cincinnati Reds. In the International League, the Iron Pigs 6 outs away from win of 7-1 over the RailRiders after 7. Top of the 8th, extra innings in the opener of a twin bill between Indianapolis and Toledo. 2-2 the score there. Syracuse started to pull away from Buffalo. They're up 10-4 after 6. One of the Jacksonville leads North off the low scoring one there. Just underway, no score, top of the first team, Memphis and Iowa. Still plenty of action to come tonight. 6:05, Worcester hosting Rochester. 6:35, the Gwinnett Stripers battle this run tonight. 6:45 action has Durham pitted up against Nashville. All the nightcap at 7:37, St. Paul meets Omaha. Still the back end of a twin bill between Toledo and Indianapolis, and the back end of today's scheduled game after suspended games completed with Columbus defeating Louisville 7-5. Picks are wrap up a win. They're up 7-1. We go to the 8th. Back to Sam Jolly.
Thank you, Jack. Lee said, top of the 8th, Iron Pigs leading 7-1. Nolan Hoffman barely needed 10 pitches to complete the top of the 7th. Actually, only took him 9. So he'll stick around here for the 8th. Try to throw 2 ups. He has Brown, Sanchez, and Henry 2 up. It's Harrison Cohen out in the RailRiders bullpen. Looks like he will take over for the bottom of the 8th. 7-1 Pigs. Offense pretty well consolidated here today. First pitch home to Brown. This is up high. 2 runs in the 3rd for the Pigs, 5 in the 4th. All off of Adam Kloffenstein. RailRiders' only run coming off the bat of this guy here at the plate. Seth Brown, a solo homer off of Michael Mercado. Tucker Davidson started, went 5 scoreless. 1-0 pitch. Sweeper outside corner at the knees, 1-1. He is now up to 17 consecutive scoreless innings, putting himself in line for the victory. One. Breaking ball, or changeup rather, nearly the same spot, just down and away. Ball 2. Infield swings around to the right side. Hoffman's 2-1 pitch. Changeup, cut on a miss, good one. Falling off the table to the left in. 2-2. Phillies just getting underway against the Reds. Getaway day for Cincinnati. Phillies will have the rare home off day tomorrow. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball blew it by him. Good setup by Hoffman. Going soft away, then fastball to the same spot. Second strikeout out of the bullpen for him. 1 gone here to begin the 8th. Only Sanchez hits. Bases empty, 1 out. Phillies Reds scoreless in the bottom of the 1st. There's a rumor circulating. I won't name who started it. Cough, cough. Pigs manager Tank Adamson. But there's a possibility. First pitch cutter, little high to Sanchez. Ball 1 did former Pigs manager and current Phillies third base coach Anthony Contreras might be making an appearance on Thursday. 1-0 coming. Heater nibbles the outside black. 1 ball, 1 strike. Don't know if he'll be coming for the full game or just coming to town. As I thought about it, he might actually need to pick up the stuff from his apartment. 1-1. Cut on and missed. 1-2 because he had to leave so suddenly. I'm sure he didn't really grab more than a to-go bag. 1-2 on Sanchez. 1 for 2 today. Singled and hit by a pitch. But if AC is back in town, it will be very cool to have him back around, if only for a day. 1-2 off the end of the bat. Sanchez sprays it into the RailRiders dugout softly. Don't know if that hit anybody, but thankfully not hit hard enough that I think it could do any damage. One and two on Sanchez. Hoffman looking for back-to-back Ks here to begin the eighth. 7-1 IronPigs. Hoffman slings it. Sweeper lost it. Down and in. Hoffman, one of the rare guys who wears, I frankly don't know what to call them other than capris out in the mound. Basically ankle-high baseball pants. Showing off a little bit of sock. 2-2. Off the hand, Sanchez punches it down the right field line. That's a fair ball as it lands just inside the chalk and will swim to the sidewall. Sanchez on his way to second. The throw from De La Cruz is a missile, and he got him. Oh, Brian De La Cruz with an absolute cannon. A frozen rope hoses Sanchez for the second out of the inning. De La Cruz hasn't had many chances to show off the arm, but man, got to that baseball quickly enough and just turned and fired a seed. Second hit of the day for Sanchez, but he is thrown out trying to stretch it into a double. 2 outs, bases empty for Peyton Henry. 0 for 2 today. Takes a first pitch sweeper down the middle, 0-1. Two outs, bases empty. Top of the eighth, 7-1 Pigs, the pitch. Fastball up high. 1-1. Yeah, AC is third base coach now for the Phillies. It has been interesting to watch his first month, how he's handled everything from learning all the handshakes and home run celebrations of the new guys, obviously having to learn the sign system, learning the foot speed of everybody. 1-1, this is off the plate, ball 2. Learning arm strengths of all the new outfielders at the major league level. Figuring out when to send guys, when not to. Having the same presence of mind that he had down here, but the confidence to do it, on the biggest stage possible. 2-1, sweeper down and away. Henry lays off. And I think that's something that, goes overlooked when you go up to the big league level for the first time like that is, not only do players have to have confidence in their skill set, coaches have to as well. 3-1 coming. Henry takes, sinker just below the kneecaps. It's ball 4, 2-out walk. Brings Jonathan Ornelas to the plate. Ornelas 0 for 3 today after a 4-hit game last night. RailRiders actually out hitting the Pigs 6-5 today. Reyes plays behind the runner at first. Ornelas on the right side of the plate. Hoffman to the plate. This is the same spot. He just missed a Henry. Just a little bit low. Most of the school is starting to filter out of the ballpark at this point as they got to get back before the end of the day. It's a little bit on the quieter side. 1 ball on Ornelas. Hoffman fires. The pitch cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7-1 IronPigs as they get somebody up out of the bullpen here. Looks like it's Seth Johnson. Just in case Hoffman's pitch count escalates here in the 8th, he will at the very least pitch the 9th. 1-1. Sweeper down and in. Second or third time now that Hoffman has lost that sweeper arm side to a righty down and in. Looks pretty frustrated with himself with that miss. Runner at first. 2 outs. 7-1 IronPigs. Top of the 8th. Hoffman wheels and deals. Swung on, popped up. Shallow right, second baseman Peguero out. Calling for it, shuffling the feet, stutters under it, and he makes the catch to retire the side here in the 8th. 2 scoreless innings for Nolan Hoffman out of the bullpen. We go to the last the 8th. 7-1 IronPigs here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
On the hottest styles during Ashley's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 20% store-wide or take advantage of 60 months no-interest financing with no minimum purchase. Plus, secure your investor savings, whether you're refreshing one space or your entire home. Now is the time to save big with these incredible holiday savings. Save up to 20% or enjoy 60 months of no-interest financing. These Memorial Day deals won't last long. Don't miss out. Happening now at Ashley.
This is the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
I gotta say this, even though people aren't gonna like it, and it's gonna go against the narrative of Luka and what was back since the trade. Let's just trade with Harrison. So upset. And people understand. Now you start to see a little bit of why the Mavericks traded him. Here's Luka out when the Lakers team did the most. At the end of the year, they showed that an NBA favorite team. Without Luka, where are they going? And this shows you a little bit of why the Mavericks were hesitant to give Luka money and to keep him, and why they moved on from him, because this is something that goes along with him. That stuff happens. He's not the most durable of guys.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. You're listening to IronPigs Baseball, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America. On Fox Sports Radio, 94.7 FM, 12:30 a.m. and streaming at lbfoxsports.com.
Bottom of the eighth, IronPigs with a 7-1 lead over Scranton. Wilkes-Barre. New arm in the mound for the RailRiders as Harrison Cohen relieves Carson Coleman. Seems galore here as Coleman goes an inning and a third scoreless. No hits, no walks, one strikeout. Cohen takes over on this Lehigh Valley chimney specialist. Call the bullpen, keeping the Valley safe. One chimney at a time. Cohen 1-1 with a 6 even ERA, 15 innings, 19 strikeouts, but 16 walks. Cohen, guy who we saw late last year, and now time has been called. Peyton Henry has notified home plate umpire Rule Moreno of something, because Moreno is going over to the RailRiders dugout, and is Cohen wearing the wrong number? I know he changed his number earlier in the week. I'm guessing that that's probably what the issue is, and I don't think anybody is going to make too big of a fuss about it. So Cohen will be allowed to stay in the game here despite wearing what might have been a wrong number on the lineup card. At least he was listed. You've seen that happen before. I think that was last year. Anthony Contreras forgot to list somebody on the lineup card out of the bullpen. So Cohen from the stretch, nobody on base. First pitch home to Brian Daly Cruz. He socks it in the air. Deep left field. Back on it, Cabrera to the track. At the wall. He's not bringing it back. Brian Daly Cruz, a solo shot to left. And the Pigs with a cherry on top. Here in the eighth. First pitch hacking. Brian Daly Cruz, a solo shot into the bullpens and left. Cabrera tried to bring it back, scaled the wall and left. Nearly upended himself over it, but De La Cruz sitting on a first pitch cutter, bombs it out to left. Pigs, second homer of the game, now lead it 8-1 here in the eighth. Base is empty, nobody out. Dylan Carlson, the hitter. Cohen from the stretch, first base side, delivers home, and Carlson lines it the other way into left. That's another hit. 2 pitches, and Cohen's already allowed 2 hits. Carlson will stop at first as Cabrera gets it back in. Cohen was having a great season last year. He was a really effective reliever. Was 3-2 with 5 saves and a 1.76 ERA. 51 innings, punched out 59, 30 walks. But this year has been a different tale to take. Now already the 4th homer he's allowed. So 2 pitches, 2 hits. Now the over Piguero, who was 1 for 3 today with an RBI double hits. First pitch. Cutter on the outside corner. No balls and 1 strike. 8-1 IronPigs as De La Cruz, the solo homer, extends the lead here. De La Cruz with his 6th of the season. Right on right matchup. Cohen the stretch. 0-1. Loses the cutter. Up and in. For De La Cruz, that's his first homer since back on May the 10th against Buffalo. Pigs only had one home run last week in Rochester. That was Stuart Baroa last Wednesday. Carlson not being held on at first, and Peguero rips it in the air deep down the left field side, falling fast. It's down for a hit. One hop in front of Cabrera. Carlson will stop at second, and Peguero sounded like he might have broken his bat on that one, able to dunk it in for his second hit of the ball game. 3 straight hits off of Harrison Cohen here to begin the 8th. Catcher Peyton Henry goes out to the mound to try to provide some positive reinforcement. So Henry with some words of encouragement for Cohen, trying to get him on track here. Two on, nobody out. Caleb Ricketts, who has grounded out to first base on a 3-1 putout all 3 times today on the first pitch, hits next. Left-handed batter, Cohen the righty to the plate, and Ricketts takes the pitch this time. It's down low. Look back at second. Carlson leading. 1-0 pitch. Ricketts fouls it back. One IronPigs bomb the 8th. 2 on, nobody out. The 1-1 to Ricketts. Caleb checks the swing. Peeled to third. He held back. Change up. Phillies already a 1-0 lead on the Reds, but Aaron Nola in some trouble in the top of the second. None of the corners and nobody out. 2-1. Down and in on Ricketts. Ball 3. With how hot it is today during the day game, both bullpens have migrated to their kind of shelter cabanas, which makes the bullpens look exceptionally empty. Nobody throwing, even though Cohen some trouble here to begin the 8th. 2 on, nobody out, 3-1. Ricketts a line shot left center field. That's down for another base hit. Cut off in the alley by Cabrera. Around third, here comes Carlson to the plate. The throw from Lombard on the relay is late. RBI single, Caleb Ricketts. The Pigs tack on another. It's 9-1 here in the last of the 8th. I think Scranton Wilkes-Barre thought that the Pigs were going to score easily there, but Carlson maybe just got a late break or something, because Lombard had to get that relay going. They had that relay set up going towards third base. He then had to throw in the run and still nearly got Carlson at the plate. So an RBI single for Ricketts, 4th straight hit off of Cohen. Here to begin the bomb the 8th. 9-1 IronPigs with Robert Moore now up. First pitch, this is outside. Reds have tied the game against the Phils, by the way. RBI double for, well, it's one of the Lows. It's Nate Lau. Nathaniel, or maybe that's Nathaniel Lowe. Yeah, Nathaniel Lowe, Brandon Lau, and Josh Lowe. Pitch to Moore is on the inside corner, 1-1. I think I've got the pronunciations and the designations right. They all changed teams this offseason, which makes it even tougher. 1-1 on Moore. Infield plays with a pull. Peguero at second, Ricketts at first. 9 runs, 9 hits for the Pigs. Up big here in the 8th. The pitch. Cutter down and in. Ball 2. First runs that the Pigs have scored off the RailRiders bullpen today. 2-1. Moore checks his swing, fouls it off at the plate. 2-2. And like we mentioned, outside of the dusk ball double yesterday for Sergio Alcantara that led to a run. It's really the first time that the Pigs have truly gotten to the RailRider bullpen. 2-2. Moore loops it down the right field line, hooking towards the corner. It's a fair ball. It'll drop in, go all the way into the corner. Coming in to score Peguero. Around third, here comes Ricketts. The relay throw will come to the plate, and Ricketts scores standing. Moore on at third with a triple. Drives home 2 more, and it's 11-1 Iron Pigs in the 8th. 5 straight hits to begin the 8th. The Pigs a double shy of hitting for the cycle here in the inning. Pitching coach Spencer Medic going to make a trip out to the mound here, and with no movement out in the RailRiders bullpen, this might just be Cohen will eat it, or otherwise a position player will probably come on to pitch here. Solo homer, single, single, single. Triple. Mound visit over with the top of the order coming up here. Christian Cairo up next. So the mound visit over, and it looks like Scranton will have somebody start throwing out in their bullpen, or at least some guys have started to get up and stretch a little bit. Cairo out of the leadoff spots, 1 for 3 today. He had an RBI single back in the 4th. Infield back, RailRiders down 10 in the 8th. Cohen high leg kick to pitch home. Cutter, this is up high. So a big weight off the Iron Pigs' shoulders today, barring something drastic in the 9th. Be able to end the losing streak. Offense getting their mojo back here. 1-0 pitch. Cairo tried to hold back, but he went around. Chased the pitch off the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. 11 runs, 10 hits for the Pigs. 2 errors, 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error for the RailRiders. One coming. Cairo pops it up. Foul ground up the first base side. On the lines, the first baseman Brown. Now a step into foul territory. He makes the catch. 1 away in the 8th. Moore still at third base. The triple for Moore, by the way, is just the Pigs' 4th of the season. They had the 2nd fewest triples in the league coming into the day. And Moore now with his first triple of the year. Seth Johnson will start throwing out in the Iron Pigs bullpen again. Baroa switch hitter batting left, 0 for 2 today with a pair of walks. Whiffs on the first pitch changeup. 0-1. Strike 1 pitch. Baroa fouls it into the mitt of Henry. Quickly 0-2. On Stuart Baroa. Robert Moore after his triple at third base. Iron Pigs with 4 in the 8th. Now lead it 11-1. 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Phillies now trail the Reds 3-1. Top of the 2nd. Aaron Nolan's giving up 4 hits, 3 runs in the 2nd. One-two. Swing and a miss. Held on to by Henry. Baroa down on strikes for the 2nd time today. 2 outs in the inning. Brings up Felix Reyes. Felix getting his mojo back after first dip of the toes in the Major League waters. 2-run homer in the third, RBI single in the fourth. Two for four today, more at third base. Cohen, deep breath, hands the belts. First pitch, Felix whiffs on a cutter right on the outside corner. One strike on Reyes, 4 runs home in the inning. The pitch down the dirt, skip to the backstop. Moore dashing home from third. He'll score, standing up without a play. And it's 12-1 IronPigs here in the eighth, their second 5-run inning of the day. They've matched nearly their entire season's worth of 5-run or more innings in one game. So 1-1 on Reyes, 5 runs home here in the eighth. Cohen nearly put more at third base with nobody out and managed to strand it. 1-1 pitch. Reyes swings, fouls it back just over our heads and up above the press box. It's actually going to land on the roof. 1-2. One-two. Felix drives it high in the air, deep the other way. Fernandez back to the track at the wall. Felix Reyes has got another. Goes the opposite way for his second homer of the day. Why not make it 13-1 IronPigs here in the eighth, a 6-run inning. Felix has driven in 4. He's gone deep twice. Pigs have batted around the eighth. Just easy pop the other way. It's his second multi-homer game of the season. He also went deep twice against St. Paul. Two outs. Space is still empty. Carter Keyboom, 9th man to hit here in the inning. Takes a first pitch cutter. Up and out of the zone. RailRiders getting Eric Raiselman up and the roster prior to the start of the series yesterday. Sixth in the eighth for the Pigs, lead 13-1 here. The pitch home, Keyboom pops it up. Shallow right, out goes Luciano Fernandez coming in. He trots over to the spot, makes the catch. Keyboom retired, and the inning over. But the Pigs blow it open. 6 runs in the frame, homers for De La Cruz and Reyes. More a 2-run triple. We go to the 9th. 13-1 IronPigs, 3 outs away from the victory here in the Pigs Radio Network. Presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
The scoreboard. Our hopes and dreams rest on the outcome, but it doesn't show the sacrifice it takes to win, or the pain of accepting defeat. Because the real score isn't complete. It's about how many times you can come back from possible odds. For all the hopes that matter. Trusted, influenced, and accepted by top doctors and specialists. Capital Blue Cross. Live fearless.
Have a home run of a summer right here at home. Because in Pennsylvania, a real getaway is never far away. Get back to nature in the Pennsylvania wilds where you can experience some of the darkest skies in the Northeast. Make a splash as you float down a scenic river with your crew or hike your way through Pennsylvania's 124 state parks. Unplug this summer and unwind your way in Pennsylvania. Find your great next American getaway at visitpa.com.
Lehigh Valley Health Network is now proudly part of Jefferson Health. And when 2 healthcare groups come together, you can expect more. More access. Doctors. Jefferson Health and Lehigh Valley Health Network. Together for the future of care.
You're listening to the IronPigs Radio Network.
Top of the ninth, IronPigs leading the RailRiders 13-1. 6-run eighth, blowing this open for the Pigs to Seth Johnson. Not a safe situation, but he'll close it out. Seth, 16 innings, 28 strikeouts for the Pigs with a 2.25 ERA. Leads the team with 4 saves on the season. First pitch fastball to Kennedy Corona. Blazes right down the middle. 96, 0-1. So Seth just getting some work in here. Did allow a run in his last outing in Rochester. Gave up a pair of doubles in the finale on Sunday. 0-1. Corona, a weak ground ball out to short. Waiting back in it, Cairo gloves, gets rid of it quick. Little high to first, but Reyes, an awful big guy, able to reach up and grab it. Retire Corona, 1 away, here to begin the ninth. Back to the top of the order, and George Lombard Jr. And man, today is just... Pigs woke up on the right side of the bed. Yet every reason to think they wouldn't. A game like today would be one that just add a little bit more problems to their plate, but they've come out, played well on all sides of the baseball. Pitched well, hit well. Pitch home to George Lombard Jr. Breaking ball misses way high. 1 ball, no strikes. Lombard out of the leadoff spot, 1 for 4 today. He doubled off the wall back in the third. 1-0 pitch. Fastball at 98, way high. Tucker Davidson started for the Pigs, went 5 scoreless. Now 17 straight scoreless here at home. He's in line for the win. Mercado and Hoffman have followed. Now Johnson for the ninth. 1 out, nobody on. 2-0 pitch. Lombard, a humongous hack, and he gets under it. Sky high, middle of the diamond. Everybody showing their eyes from the sun. It'll be Reyes to make the call in the catch behind the mound for the second out of the inning. Man, Cairo at shortstop was blinding. He's got the sunglasses on. It didn't matter. He was ducking for cover. He had no clue where that baseball was. And Felix takes charge, commands everybody. Commanding presence about him. Second out here in the ninth. Final hope for the RailRiders, Yankiel Fernandez. 13-1 Pigs. Top of the ninth. Fernandez 1 for 4 today with a base hit. Johnson the pitch. Backdoor slider. On the outside corner, 0-1. Pigs with 2 in the third, 5 in the fourth, 6 in the eighth. Felix Reyes has driven in 4, gone deep twice. Brian De La Cruz a homer. Robert Moore, 3 RBIs, including a 2-run triple. Strike 1 pitch. Fernandez, big swing, fouls it back up to the sweet level, and the RailRiders down to their final strike. Going 2 on Yankiel Fernandez. Seth Johnson trying to end it. 13-1 Pigs, top of the ninth. Johnson the stretch. High leg kick, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him way out in front. Curveball down and in. Seth Johnson strikes out Fernandez to end it. And the ball game is over. A 1-2-3 ninth as Seth shuts the door. And your final score is the IronPigs 13 and the RailRiders 1. We'll go ahead, take a break. We'll be back with totals and a recap next on the Staybird Suite. Allentown Platform Airport post-game show. Your final is the IronPigs 13 and the RailRiders 1. You've been listening to IronPigs Baseball here on the IronPigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
From the Wilkes-Barre Easton Honda Studios, this is Fox Sports Radio. Clinton Wilkes-Barre Easton Honda, 2 trusted names, 1 gold, 5-star.
Now that's a bounce back.
How about it?
Poured it on late too, which is like what you like to see. What you like to see.
Our master on the hottest styles during Ashley's Memorial Sale, with hot buys starting at just $2.99. Save up to 20% on all Ashley furniture, or enjoy 60 months no interest financing with no minimum purchase. These Memorial Day deals won't last. Shop today at Ashley.
The voice of Lehigh Valley sports fans is the Happy Hour. Weekdays at 4, presented by Ashland. From the local high schools and colleges to Penn State, Philly, New York, and the entire sport. We cover it all with Rick Guest, rankings, and you. Our text the show to voice your opinion at 610-890-0707. Don't miss the Lehigh Valley's only nightly sports talk show, The Happy Hour, presented by Ashland, the largest furniture store brand in North America. Weekdays at 4 on Fox Sports Radio 94.7 FM, 12:30 AM, and streaming at lvfoxsports.com. We're celebrating 25 years of covering Lehigh Valley sports. Moments like Wilkes-Barre Park opening on March 30, 2008. The start of Lehigh Valley IronPigs baseball. Covering the biggest moments in Lehigh Valley sports for 25 years. This is Fox Sports Radio 94.7 FM and 12:30 AM in Easton.
This summer, we're going from minor league baseball to major fun. Whether you're just stopping by or looking for that Grand Slam getaway, Wyndham rewards everyone. Start earning points on your next qualified by Wyndham hotel stay and redeem them for minor league baseball tickets and experiences all summer long. Not a Wyndham Rewards member? Join for free at WyndhamRewards.com. Restrictions apply. Visit WyndhamRewards.com for more details.
Thanks for listening to IronPigs Baseball. IronPigs Baseball is brought to you by standing right partner Coca-Cola, presenting partner Capital Blue Cross, and founding partners Air Products, Service Electric, Lehigh Valley Health Network, a part of Jefferson Health, Ebron, The Morning Call, and WFNZ Channel 69. Now it's time for the Sabre Suites Allentown Bethlehem Airport postgame show with Sam Jelinek.
Welcome in to the Staybridge Suites, Allentown Bethlehem Airport postgame show. Sam Jelinek with you here from the Cyan Sky broadcast booth. Get you told us in a recap for Jack Heimel happening for the rest of this one as the IronPigs, an emphatic 13-1 victory and a deep breath. Things have been tough for the Pigs of late. Feels good to have one where they can just lay down the lumber. All sides of the baseball performing just the way you need to, and the Pigs run away with this one. Just great to see every part of this team fire on all cylinders today to produce what's their most complete win in a good bit of time. Get you that aforementioned totals in a recap here. Early on, it was the Tucker Davidson show. Tucker with 5 scoreless innings today continues his dominance here at home with now 17 consecutive innings scoreless here at Coca-Cola Park. He was fantastic. Put the Pigs in prime position early to put themselves in a comfortable spot. They couldn't figure out Adam Kloffenstein for the first 2 innings, but finally Felix Reyes, a 2-run homer in the 3rd, broke the ice, and then in the 4th, string of hits. Kloffenstein had at first walked 6 batters, only gave up 1 hit, and finally when the hits came, so too did the runs. Pigs with 5 in the 4th, able to open things up for a 7-0 lead. Only run of the day for the RailRiders came on a solo homer in the 6th, and then the Pigs 6 more in the 8th for good measure. Felix Reyes, his 2nd homer of the day, as he drove in 4 runs in total. Brian De La Cruz also went deep. Robert Moore added a 2-run triple as he drove in 3 runs in total as well. And the IronPigs win this one running away 13-1 at the final line score. 13 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors, and 3 left on base for the Pigs. They go 7 for 13 with runners in scoring position. The RailRiders, 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. They leave 10 on base. This Pigs pitching did a great job today, holding them to 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Winning pitcher is Tucker Davidson. As we mentioned, 5 scoreless. Here today, he's now 3-1, continues his brilliance here at Coca-Cola Park. The loss goes to Adam Kloffenstein. He is now 1-2. He gives up 7 runs, 5 hits, 6 walks, 1 strikeout, in 4 innings of work. He's now 1-2 on the season. No save required. We started at 11:01, finished at 1:47. Time of game, 2 hours and 46 minutes in front of an even 10,000 on the dot, a sellout crowd here on Wednesday morning at Coca-Cola Park. With the win, the Pigs 21-26 in the season, snapped their 4-game losing streak. They will not lose 5 in a row for the first time this year, and they even the Iron Rail at a game apiece. Scranton Wilkes-Barre, they fall to 24-21, unable to snatch a third straight win. We're back to evening baseball tomorrow, 6:45 first pitch, as it'll be Alan Ron-Hell for the Pigs, and it was TBD for Scranton Wilkes-Barre, but I believe I have received their new probables at this point. It'll be Dom Hamill for the RailRiders tomorrow. So your pitching matchup, a good one tomorrow. Alan Ron-Hell for the Pigs, Dom Hamill for the RailRiders. 6:45 first pitch, 6:15 for the pregame show, which is the next time that I will talk to you. So I'm about to do it for my portion of the broadcast here today. As always, big thanks from me to you for making us a part of your Wednesday morning into the afternoon. If you're at work tuning us in, we always appreciate it. Big thanks to Jack Heim back in the studio, keeping me company here for this one. And as always, big thank you to all of our sponsors who make IronPigs Baseball possible, including our naming rights partner, Coca-Cola, presenting partner, Capital Blue Cross, and founding partners, Air Products, Service Electric, Lehigh Valley Health Network, a partner, Jefferson Health, Bebra on the Morning Call, and WFMC Channel 69 News. I'll talk to you tomorrow for Game 3 of the series as the Pigs go for back-to-back wins. Your final score again tonight, or today, this morning, it's the IronPigs 13 and the RailRiders 1. As always, thanks so much for listening. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Till then, I've been Sam Jelinek, Jack Heim, as you the rest of the way here in the Staybridge Suites, Allentown Bethlehem Airport postgame show here on the Pigs Radio Network, presented by Ashley, the largest furniture store brand in North America.
If you are looking for retirement living that includes all of your home maintenance and is filled with resorts